Ir tai bus 3 kvalifikaciniai plaukimai, kurių trečiajame mes turėsim lietuvių ekipažą. Netrukus pradėsim.
We are in the stands right now, and we finally met some beautiful people here who support rowing. Hey! And as you can notice from these beautiful flags, I am surrounded by beautiful ladies from New Zealand. Hello, how are you here?
We're very good, thank you. Very pleased to be here.
Who are you supporting today?
I'm supporting my daughter McLean Stewart, who's in the Coxless 4.
I'm supporting my son Payo, who's in the 8 today.
All right. And you?
I'm supporting Coco Flood, and she's in the Coxless 4.
All right, so what are your first impressions of Lithuania so far? You came all the way from New Zealand, 40-hour trip.
That's right, a very long way. Actually beautiful, the lake is stunning, the castle, we've got mountains, the castle's beautiful.
We don't believe in mountains, sorry.
Oh, so it's such a contrast, that's so nice. I love the venue, you can see what's going on, you can see the finish line, and Vilnius is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love walking around the old town, and it's just got a really good, busy vibe.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Lots of kids, lots of adults, it's just really fun.
How do you like people of Lithuania?
Very well, very well.
Well behaved.
Sometimes.
Can we make some noise for the upcoming New Zealand rowers? Can we do a test?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go!
Well, we're delighted to bring you the first race of the day, the junior women's pair. It's Heat 1. This race started at 10:30, and you can see the athletes just crossing through that first timing marker. We have Austria in the lead, Italy running second, and over to Israel, Hong Kong, China, and South Africa in the mix as well. Looking really good for Austria in the early goings. We've been watching the story of the race unfold while the fans have been down with Ritas in the grandstand. And yeah, the story is Austria. They had a fantastic start and have been able to carry that momentum now into the second quarter.
Pirmieji startai, kaip ir žadėjom, moteris be vairės pavienio irklo. Pirmas vanduo yra Hongkongas, antras Italija, trečias Austrija, ketvirtas vanduo Pietų Afrika ir penktas Izraelis. Šiuo metu pirmauja pas mus Austrijas, antroje vietoje matosi dabar yra Italijos ir mes jūs pranotifikuosim, kai mes matysim, kas čia daugiau vyksta. Įgulos jau prairklavo 800 metrų.
Well, they're moving well through the second quarter. Austria continuing to hold the lead. That's Clara Bernhardt and Esther Schöberl, 18 and 17 years of age. We saw them earlier this season at the European Under-19 Championships, where they took third overall in this very event. So on the podium, they've been building momentum and speed, and getting close to that halfway point, Richie. And it's looking quite good for Austria, isn't it?
Looking good, and they're handling the conditions fairly well, as we saw in the videos there from yesterday's racing. The crew's talking about the blustery conditions here. It's a little bit of a crosswind, but nothing to upset the crews too much. We're just watching them come through the halfway mark now, and just by about a third of a length, it is the Austrian crew leading out from Italy. Interestingly, the Italian crew went off the start at 46 strokes per minute for the first 100 meters before settling down into their race pace. Always great to see them sprint off of the start. Very explosive with the Italian crews. The South African crew coming back into the mix at the halfway mark as well. So they're the 1, 2, and 3 further back then to Hong Kong, China, and Israel. So it's a perfect chevron as they come down towards us with all of the action in the center lanes between Austria and South Africa. And again, 2 crews to qualify. So the Italian crew are going to have to make a move here in this 500 if they're going to get into the mix with South Africa.
Pusę distancijos jau sportininkės įveikė ir kol kas aiškios 2 lyderės, 2 valtis, kurios pirmauja. Tai yra Austrija, kuri pirmauja jau nuo 500 metrų, taip pat ir 1000 metrų įveikė pirmos ir tempas. Matome, kad yra geriausias, labai tuo nereikėtų stebėtis. Clara Bernhardt ir taip pat Esther Schöberl yra čia. Ir Bernhardt yra įvairių tarptautinių regatų prizininkė, užėmė į 6. vietą Europos merginų iki 19 metų čempionate, kai irklavo 4-vietę valtį. Na ir taip pat pasaulio čempionate buvo su 8-vietė 4. Pernai dabar studijuoja Jeilio universitete ir sako, kad jie įkvėpė būtent Schöberl, kuri yra kur kas ramesnė, ir ši pora tikrai labai gerai susidirbo ir matome, kad kol kas lyderiauja, yra pirmoje vietoje, bet negalima nurašyti ir Pietų Afrikos, tik 39/100 atsilikimas po pusės distancijos tikrai yra labai mažai, jo labiau, kad ir Italija yra šalia ir matome, kad Italijas bando didinti tempą ir artėti prie lyderiaujančios komandos.
The really great footage that we can see of the course and the beautiful, stunning background here. And like Avi in Trakai, really ideal rowing conditions as well. They're coming into the next marker. We're going to see how things are panning out. These pairs, it's always the most technical boat to row. You don't get away with a lot of mistakes with just the one oar for each of the competitors. So the contrasting styles we're seeing here, the Austrians, they were down at 30 strokes per minute. They've taken it up to 37 now. They're coming under increased pressure from the Italians and the South Africans. Coming through with 500 to go. It is Austria just holding on to the lead, but the Italians now moving from third into second place. It's the South Africans who have moved into the lead in the 500 metre mark there. South Africa now with a huge push on, and that's why we've seen the response from Austria to try get back and take that push that came from South Africa, seeing them take the lead, and we're watching the footage there. They've just opened up a little clear water coming into the run into the last quarter here. So South Africa, just in the last 200 metres, great push from them. They're up at about 36 strokes per minute, but really powerful in the water, coming down into those markers, and the finish line's going to be in sight. So it's a bit of upheaval from what we saw from the start on our first race of the day here. Timing perfection. It looks like South Africa all the way.
Yeah, South Africa with that fantastic push that you mentioned there at the end. That's Amber Potgieter and Anouk van der Bergen. They're both 17 years of age. Bit of a patient race strategy, and now you see the increase in the stroke rate. They've kicked that up, a bit of a quicker move to the water, and legs coming down, that momentum really carrying them. So a bit of patience has paid off. We know that it's 2 to advance on directly to the semi-final, and South Africa looking to make one of those spots work for them.
Pietų Afrika pirmauja. Kaip matote, priminsiu, kad moterų kvalifikaciniai plaukimai pirmos 2 vietos patenka į pusfinalį. 1, 6 greičiausi laikai taip pat patenka į pusfinalį ir 7 vieta ir žemesnės baigė savo pasirodymą čempionate. Taip, Pietų Afrika matosi, kad neduoda šansų kitiems. Austrija 2 vietoje, Italija 3 pozicijoje.
And we see in the final stretch of this race just a fantastic job from the South Africans to take the lead in style. It's an open water advantage to South Africa. There's the horn. Big sprint from the Italians, from Victoria Card and Sara Carraio. And, it's the Italians that'll capture that next spot. So perhaps some disappointment from the Austrians, but as we know, that times will also dictate who makes it through to that semi-final round. So we'll get a sense of collective times a little bit later on throughout the heats. So well done to South Africa and to Italy to capture those 2 spots in Heat 1 of the Under-19 women's pair.
Well, once again, we are in the stands and we met some people from Italy. How are you guys?
All good, all good.
What's your name?
Francesca.
And what did you support just now?
And now we're supporting this girl. We are here to support our son, Roberto. He will have the racing later on, but we will enjoy.
You were very loud. You were very emotional. Yeah. Can we just see energy from Italy once again? Can you make some noise?
Well, fast and furious, the heats come down. It's now the second heat of the Under-19 women's pair with Germany, the People's Republic of China, Romania, and Canada already approaching halfway. And the story of the race, well, no surprise, Richie, looks to be Romania.
Romania is such a dominant country in this event at under-19, under-23 and senior level. It was the Canadians who led it out through 500 with Romania in second place, but really it was just on the surge of the boats with just 0.05 of a second separating them through 500. Germany back in third, China back in 4th place. Again, 2 crews to qualify here, and the Canadian and Romanian crews pushing each other on, but it's the Romanian crew in the last 500 who really just changed gear and moved away from the Canadian crew. They're opening up just about a 3.5 second lead, so boat and a half length. They now open up with clear water coming down the course. They're the 1 and 2. Germany a little bit further back, well ahead of the Chinese crew in 4th place. So it looks like Romania and Canada doing what needs to be done at the moment, coming through the halfway mark. Just need to stay in control of the race now and secure those 2 qualifying spots. The big question is, what can Germany do in the next 500 to see if they can get back in contention with Canada?
Tarp Rumunijos ir Kanados vyksta didžiausia konkurencija, didžiausia intriga, kol kas užims tą pirmąją poziciją. Rumunės pirmavo po 500 metrų, tiksliau Kanada pirmavo po 500 metrų, Rumunės atsiliko tik 500, bet dabar jau Rumunija priekyje ir matome, tempo šiuo metu būtent yra geriausias Rumunijos komandos, tai yra šių metų Europos iki 19 metų dvivietės valties čempionės, tad turbūt tai neturėtų labai stebinti, kad jos ir pirmauja, jos yra favoritės būtent šiame atrankos plaukime ir kol kas matome, kad persvara yra ir persvara vis didėja. Tarkime, po 1000 metrų jau 3 sekundės ir 73 persvara prieš Kanados komandą, kuri lyderiavo po ketvirtadalio distancijos.
So it's going with form here. The Romanians, the current European champions earlier on this year, a lot of experience in the boat as well. Denisa in the stroke seat came 4th in the double last year, hopefully looking to get into the mix here, into the medal podium once they race into the semi-finals and into the final later on this weekend. They're doing what needs to be done, as I said, opening up now a 20-meter lead. So clear water we can see on screen there in full control. They've taken the rate down to 34 strokes per minute, coming down to the last few hundred, and they're leading it out well from the Canadian crew, looking good in second place at the moment for the second qualifying spot. The German crew, a little bit of a new combination here, but Mia in the bow seat has raced at the World Championships last year where she placed 5th, so bringing that experience into the boat. A little bit off the pace though as they come with 500 to go. Romania leading it out, Canada in second place, Germany with a lot to do to get back into contention for qualifying, and then China in 4th currently.
Taigi 1500 metrų jau yra įveikta, Rumunės persvara didina 6 ir 900, kol kas tokia persvara prieš Kanados komandą, Teodora Legacija ir taip pat Denisa Mikaela Vasilika startuoja. Čia iš Rumunijos dar jaunos sportininkė, 17 metų yra Legacija, Vasilika yra 16, tad viskas dar prieš akis, bet kaip ir minėjome, tai jau yra dabar Europos iki 19 metų čempionės.
So still looking good. We mentioned the Romanians, the current European champions as well. The Canadian crew, a new combination here coming together from the pair and the 8 from last year's season. Rowing really nicely here for Canada. It's Cliena Della Siega in the bow seat, Novella Rosman in the stroke seat, coached by Dave Calder, and looking good for that second qualifying spot. Let's see what sprint finish Germany have though, Colleen.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Germany indeed. Barthelmes Ente Teva, 17 and 18 years of age. We'll see if they find another gear as they move into the red buoy zone, the critical last stretch of the race. Romania, though, looking just so calm, cool, and collected. That classic Romanian sprint, getting the work done in the water.
Rumunijos komanda išlaiko labai aukštą tempą, 38 netgi įrai per minutę, tuo tarpu Kanada, kuri yra antroje vietoje ir bando jas veikti, 2 įrais turi aukštesnį tempą, net 40 čia gana daug yra. Ir 3 vietoje mes turime Vokietiją, kuri pirmų vandenį irkluoja ir liko 100 metrų mažiau netgi.
Well, Romania's Teodora and Lehaci looking to continue that European Championship win and continue their country's proud tradition in this event. The Romanians just such proficient sweep rowers and certainly long history in the pair as they take the line first, followed by the Canadians. So Canada to capture that second qualifying position, automatic qualifying position as the remaining crews roll in. So a job well done. It is Romania and Canada to qualify directly. You get a sense of their fatigue here on the line. They'll be happy with that performance, I'm sure. And we'll look forward to seeing them in the next round. So it was Romania, Canada, then Germany, and the People's Republic of China.
You know, it's not all about the fun. It's also about some educational purposes here at the World Under-19 Rowing Championships. I met some people from Finland. How are you guys?
Fine, thanks.
All right. What are your names? Please introduce yourself.
Iris. Nina.
Aki.
And today, these guys from Finland are going to teach us some Finnish language. So, guys, whenever you hear a Finnish word, try to repeat it out loud, okay? We're learning today. So, how to say rowing in Finnish?
Soutu.
Soudo. 3, 2, 1, soudo. How to say oar in Finnish?
Airo.
3, 2, 1, airo. How to say water in Finnish language?
Vesi.
Vesi. 3, 2, 1, vesi. And how to say congratulations?
Onnittelut.
Onnittelut. 3, 2, 1, onnittelut. All right, thank you very much. Back.
Well, on the course, just coming through the halfway point, it is the third heat of the U19 women's pair. And Richie, will go straight to you.
Straight in, and all the action in lanes 1 and 2 at the moment, because Uzbekistan have led from the very start here, and they're at 36 strokes per minute, opening up just a little bit of a boat length lead over France in second place. The French crew second in the Europeans this year, so we'll see them in the mix, no doubt, in the run-in towards the finish. Lithuania also sixth in the Europeans, so they're familiar with racing each other earlier on this season. So 2 crews from the Europeans racing here in the third heat. Also in the mix, the Danish crew, but off the pace, it has to be said. Looking on screen there, you can see the little bit of overlap between the 3 leading crews as they come through the halfway mark. So great to see that we've 3 crews battling here for 2 positions. It's going to be relentless right the way into the finish here to see who the qualifying crews are. Just a little bit, the Lithuanian crew, sorry, just at the bottom of your screen there, coming very close to the lane, so they might have to make a little bit of adjustment to widen out and make sure they don't run into any trouble. But overlapping all 3 crews, this is exactly what we want to see. 3 crews in the mix for 2 spots.
3 įgulos kaunasi dėl 2 pozicijų kitame etape ir čia yra ir Lietuva, labai smagu, tai yra 3 takas, Aušra Kavaliauskaitė ir Gabija Stašaitytė, joms yra tik po 16 metų, jos varžėsi ir Europos merginų iki 19 metų čempionato A finale ir ten užėmė 6 vietą, tad tikrai buvo geras pasiekimas ir reikia tikėtis kažką panašaus pamatysime ir būtent šiame pasaulio čempionate, o varžovės šiaip galima sakyti yra rimtos. Antrame take yra šių metų Europos iki 19 metų vicečempionės ir Uzbekistano komanda, kuri kol kas pirmų takų labai didelį tempą demonstruoja ir po 500 metrų ir po pusės distancijos jos pirmauja, artėjame prie 3/4 distancijos, tai yra 1500 metrų ir matome, kad Uzbekistano komanda ir toliau yra labai atsiplėšusi, galima sakyti, nuo kitų įgulų. Lietuvės kol kas laikosi 3 pozicijoje, faktas reikia kabintis į prancūzes, atsilikimas yra 2:90, galima sakyti nemažai, bet galima kautis per paskutinius 500 metrų.
So they're starting to stretch out with 500 to go. Contrasting styles here as well from Uzbekistan. Up at 36, 37 strokes per minute throughout the race. They haven't let the rate drop down at all. Lithuania down 32 strokes per minute in third place at the moment and finding the middle ground. That French crew, 34 strokes per minute. So the fastest moving boat is still Uzbekistan, as I said, leading from the very start, and nothing has changed in the positions between the first 4 crews. Uzbekistan through 500, through 1,000, and now through 1,500, leading it out ahead of France. Lithuania, I don't think the Lithuanians will be able to get back in the mix, but as I say, they start to take the rate up now from 30 strokes per minute up to 35, 36. Sprint finish from Lithuania on the way.
Yeah, sprint finish indeed, and riding with this Uzbek combination. A job well done to this combo. So it's Raihon Sartarova and Aidina Smetolayeva, and 17 and 16 years of age. Perhaps a bit surprising not to see the French just ahead of them. I know that the French kind of a favorite here in this category, so the Uzbekistan combo just having a gutsy race.
Aušra ir Gabija irkluoja 3 vandeniu ir nors jų greitis yra pakankamai neblogas, bet jo nepakako išlaikyti, jos dabar greičiau irkluoja negu antroje vietoje esančios prancūzės ir mes patys dabar pamatysim, kuo čia viskas baigsis. Laikykim kumščius suspaudę už Aušrą ir Gabiją, bet matyt, na gerai, neburkim iš tirščių, žiūrėkim, pats finišas jau čia pat.
It's Uzbekistan first across the line in that automatic qualifying spot, followed by the French. So the French take it up a bit, but not able to track down Uzbekistan. Cassandra Pividori of France in the stroke seat there. Will be fantastic to see these crews in the subsequent rounds, but it is the winner of the under-19 women's pair, heat number 3, Uzbekistan. Congratulations to them, and then over to this combination from France. So loads to look forward to in the under-19 women's pair. We'll get a sense of the crowd and look forward to the men's pair races to come. Well, the next race on the course, it's the junior men's pair. It's heat number 1, and well, they're approaching halfway.
Already at the halfway mark, and leading it out is the Australian crew ahead of the GB crew in second place. Greece back in third at the moment, and Canada and France then in fourth and fifth. Got 2 crews again to qualify directly into the semi-finals here, and some of the crews will then be eliminated. 1 crew not making it through the qualifiers here, and then 6 of the slower crews will race in the final C. So a lot of racing still to come from these crews. The Europeans give us a great benchmark of how the crews fared earlier on in the season, but of course the non-European crews are a bit of an unknown factor, as we just saw there with Australia coming through. They're leading it out just by over a second, so the GB crew very much in touch here with these 2 leading out. A little bit of clear water then back to Greece in third place ahead of Canada and France, who have very little between them, battling for fourth and fifth. But really all the action is between the Australian and Great British crews. The Australian crew, Jack and in the bow seat, Lachlan in the stroke seat, coached by Tom Gatty. Leading it out at the moment, the GB crew, Patrick Wild and Alp Cadogan, very much in overlap, and I think we're going to have a great sprint finish here, and it looks like maybe the GB crew, just on screen now, coming into the last few hundred meters, have moved into the lead, but these 2 well clear of the other crew.
Turime jau kitą atrankos plaukimą, čia startavo ką tik pirmos varžybos, pirmos iš 4, tai yra pirmas plaukimas, vaikinų pavienės valtys, ir čia matome pirmą plaukimą, kuriame kol kas lyderiauja pirmoje pozicijoje esantys australai. Šiaip labai gerą sezoną turėjo Jackas Hansenas, Knarko ir taip pat Leklanas Braunas. Jie dominavo, galima sakyti, savo šalyje, tikrai pasiekė nemažų pergalių įvairiose varžybose. Geros formos atvyko čia ir nieko nuostabaus, kad pirmauja. Šalia yra ir Britai. Alpas Karadoganas yra šioje komandoje, taip pat ir Patrikas Vuldas. Apie Karadoganą kalbama, kad tai vienas perspektyviausių apskritai Britų per visą istoriją ir labai daug iš jo tikimasi, tad nieko nuostabaus, kad būtent Britanija dabar veržiasi į priekį, bet 95% yra labai mažas atstumas ir panašu, kad tos 2 valtys turėtų ir patekti į kitą etapą, nes pirma, antra keliauja būtent iš karto į pusfinalį.
So GB moving into the lead just through the last 500 meters there, and a lot of experience in this crew. They came second in the under-19s last year in the 4, as well as Alp in the stroke seat. He raced in the under-19 in 2023, stroking, it was in the 8, sorry, that won the gold medal there. So a lot of experience in the GB crew, and it's paying off, this combination, because they've moved into the lead in the last few hundred meters, but just with an overlap, the Australians still in touch here, and they're starting to take the rate up. Again, another sprint finish coming our way.
Yeah, the Aussies kick it up. We see 36 teetering on 37 strokes per minute, but not quite matching the speed from the Brits at the moment. You mentioned the pedigree from this British combination. They're certainly one to keep an eye on. We knew that the men's pair sees truly a wide open field, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on GB, I think. We see the Aussies have a little look to get a sense of where Greece is, Canada, and then back to France as well. But well, GB just looks quite untouchable at the moment.
Šiek tiek priminsiu apie progresiją, tai yra pirmas plaukimas iš 4 vyrai pavienė dvivietė, pirmos 2 vietos pusfinalis, 1-4 geriausia laikai pusfinalis, 5-10 vietos finalas C ir 11 ir žemesnės vietos nepatenka niekur. Mes matom labai dramatišką finalą. Britai pirmauja kol kas.
Well, it's a great showdown between Great Britain and the Aussies. GB just keeping themselves ahead of the Aussies, but a good push there from Australia in the closing stages of the race. And then a big sprint from Greece just behind them, coming through the line now out of lane 1. And then Canada and back to France out of lane 5. So first 2 in each heat, as we know, that's the qualifying system. And then the 4 fastest times of the remaining crews. The direct qualifiers, Great Britain and Australia.
With every finish procedure, the people here are going nuts. And this is a good thing, yeah? Hey, come on, guys. Are you alive? I just said some good words about you and you just kept silent. All right. Let's do a quick wave. Can we start from that side? I do. Oh, and then you stand, all right? Let's do a quick wave. South Africa, are you ready? Oh! All right, let's call it a practice. Now let's do a main one, all right? The best Mexican wave that we can have here in the stands. Starting from that side. Oh, Español, ¿estás preparado? Oh! We're gonna practice more.
Well, on the course now, well into the second quarter, it is the second heat of the U19 men's pair. That's a look up at the start, a replay off the line. The story of the race, no surprise, is Serbia. We know that this is a strong combination of Milan Cvetkovic and Milan Stevanovic, both 18 years of age. They're riding up at the top of the field, and then just on their heels, it's the South Africans as we approach just shy of the halfway point. So, Rich, you'll have to keep an eye. It looks like the South Africans have a bit of a response for Serbia.
Yeah, they've moved into second place. It was the Spanish who were in second place through 500, but South Africa now moving in to come up and challenge the Serbian crew. They're racing side by side in lanes 1 and 2, so very much in touch with each other, able to glance over and see how they're faring as we watch the crews that make their way down to us and coming up to that halfway mark. The Serbian crew, winners of the Europeans earlier on this season, and last year raced different combinations in both the 4 and the pair, but combining very well here in the 2025 boat, winning that European race earlier on this season. The Spanish crew were 7th, so they won their B final in that European Championship, and I'm sure there'll be all eyes on trying to get into the A final this time round at the Under-19 World Championships. The South African crew, a lot of experience there as well. They came 4th in the 4 last year and bringing that experience in here as well. The Chinese crew still in touch as well, a little bit of an overlap, and it's those 4 really in the mix for the 2 positions. They've come through 1,000 meters. Serbia is still leading it out, but just about from the South Africans.
Šiame plaukime 4 valtys yra labai šalia viena kitos ir jos yra įtilpusios, galima sakyti, į tas 5 sekundės, atsilieka mažiau nei 5 sekundėmis Kinija, įpusėjus distancijai, ir matome, kad tempas šiuo metu yra būtent šių 4 valčių labai didelis. Nieko nuostabaus, kad pirmauja Serbija, Milanas Cvetkovičius ir Milanas Stevanovičius. Tai yra sportininkai, kurie yra 18-mečiai ir jie šiemet sugebėjo tapti Europos iki 19 metų čempionais. Taip pat yra labai stipri Pietų Afrikos Respublikos komanda, kuri šiuo metu yra antroje pozicijoje. Taip pat ir Ispanija, kuri irgi turi labai daug patirties. Ramonas Palomino pernai su kitu kolega Rafaeliu Gomesu dalyvavo šiame čempionate ir užėmė 3 vietą, laimėjo bronzos medalį. Dabar jis pakeitė porininką, Danielis Karbajo yra šalia, bet su juo irgi tikrai galima kautis dėl aukščiausių pozicijų. Matome, kad ispanai yra stiprus ir ispanai atsilieka tikrai nedaug, o artėjame jau prie 1500 metrų.
So a really determined race here we're seeing from the South Africans, staying in touch with the crew from Serbia, pushing each other on here, moving away then from Spain, China and Israel back in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Great to see the South Africans really put it up to the Serbians here, and they're not letting them move away. They're matching each other's stroke rate at 36 strokes per minute, coming with 500 to go. Little bit of clear water back to the Spanish in 3rd, but really they're in striking distance of getting back into the mix. And the Chinese crew have come back and getting in touch with that Spanish crew as well. The only crew off the pace at the moment, it is the Israeli crew back in 5th place and not in the mix at the moment. As well as the 2 qualifying spot, of course, there is the fastest time, so that's why Spain and China will really be pushing each other on here to try to get into the mix. But Serbia still leading it out. South Africa looking good.
Yeah, South Africa looking really good. The 18-year-olds, Kiraziz and Yasin, making such an effort in these closing stages. They took 4th in the Under-19 men's Coxed 4 at the 2024 Under-19 Championships, and they're back in style.
Greitis valčių yra, jeigu kam įdomu, metrais per sekundę lyderiaujantis serbai demonstruoja 4,75 metrų per sekundę, kas išvertus į kilometrus į valandas yra beveik 17, taip kad greitis, kaip jūs suprantat, yra gana geras. Antroje vietoje mes turim Pietų Afriką, trečioje vietoje Ispanai.
Well, Serbia holding off the push from South Africa. As we know, it's 2 to directly advance on. Spain doing everything that they can to get the fastest possible time. But yes, Serbia looking so calm and collected out there in front. They have increased the stroke rate, though, so they've brought it up to, well, about 39 strokes per minute. So really looking to make a statement and push away the South Africans, who will not lose touch with Serbia. So we see these boats connected as they come through the closing stages. It will be Serbia, then South Africa. Those two directly qualify, then over to Spain and the People's Republic of China, with Israel in their closing stages of the race as well. So absolutely thrilling. That was the second heat of the under-19 men's pair. Well, on the course in the second quarter already, fast and furious. It is the next heat, the third heat of the under-19 men's pair. That's a look back at the start. Quick start for Romania. But presently, up at the top of the field, it's Hungary. So we have Romania, Turkey, Hungary, Lithuania, and Ukraine. That's a look then at the hometown heroes. The Lithuanian combination out at the top of the field is Hungary. And what was a great second quarter for Hungary. They were first to the 500-meter timing mark. They've held that advantage, and they've continued to open up their lead.
Looking good so far, coming up to the halfway mark. Some beautiful drone footage here of the crews competing. You can see all the action in lanes 1, 2, and 3 on the right-hand side of your screen. Furthest from the enclosure here as they come up to the halfway mark. We're riding there with the Lithuanian crew right beside us on screen, who are back at the moment in 5th position. So a little bit of work for them to get back and in contention with Ukraine for 4th place. Leading it out, it is Hungary, the crew that came 5th at the Europeans. That's our benchmark for these under-19 races. They came 5th into the A final there. The Romanian crew normally racing in the 8, but now in a new combination here in the mix in 2nd place. Just 1 second, so they're overlapping coming through there, the 1,000-meter mark. Back in the Turkey crew, just moving into the lead there. Turkey crew, 16 years of age, really young crew, and they're putting down a real leveler here to move into the lead just in the last 100 meters. They've moved from 3rd into 1st place here. Let's see what response we get from Hungary and Romania.
Taigi čia turime ir lietuvius, 4. takas, 3. atrankos plaukime, turime Matą Cibulską ir Ąžuolą Stankevičių, jie pernai tapo ir Lietuvos čempionai su 8-viete valtimi suaugusių varžybose, bet tai yra komanda, kuri yra labai jauna, tik 16 metų yra ir vienam ir kitam sportininkui, ne taip ir seniai jie pradėjo apskritai sportuoti, abu kauniečiai. Matas pradėjo startuoti 12 metų Kauno klube Bangpūtys, kalbant apie jo kolegą, apie Ąžuolą, jis pradėjo sportuoti 11 metų Kauno Lampėdžių ežere ir sako, kad labai sunku buvo persėsti į tą pavienę valtį ir būtent ją irkluoti, tai yra didžiausias šio sezono iššūkis, bet kol kas lietuviai laikosi. Faktas, kad yra labai gerai kaupti šią patirtį, tobulėti. 16 metų tarp vyresnių kautis nėra paprasta, kol kas lietuviai yra savo plaukime. Kol kas 5 pozicijoje, atsilieka 13 sekundžių ir 46 šimtosiomis, o lyderiauja turkai. Turkai yra šių metų Europos vicečempionai, bet jie irgi yra jauni. Tarkime, Nesas Kilidžas, sportininkas, kuriam 16 metų, Džianas Judžė yra sportininkas, kuriam 18, bet jie kol kas yra lyderiai, jie pirmoje pozicijoje artėja prie 1500 metrų, netoli beje yra ir Vengrija, kuri po pusės distancijos atsiliko mažiau nei sekundę.
That was absolutely massive from the crew from Turkey. The youngest crew in the field here, Enes in the bow seat, Khan in the stroke seat. Really, I think they took the crews beside them by surprise in that last 500 because they moved out and opened up a clear water lead without really taking the rate up too high. They kept it at 36 strokes per minute, but the boat speed just really took off there, doing all the work in the water. They now dominate, opening up clear water back to Hungary in second place. The Romanians have a bit of work to do to get back into the mix for that second qualifying spot, and then further back to the Ukrainians and Lithuanian back in fourth and fifth place here. But all eyes are on the lane 2 from Turkey. They've done a really, really good job here, coached by Mehmet Munklodo, who is proud, I'd say, as punch watching them taking control of the race here as they come down to the last quarter. Really surprised to see this turn out. We thought we were going to have 3 crews in the mix here, but Turkey are really powering home.
Yeah, powering home. Jan Yüce in the stroke seat, setting that rhythm. Mohamed Kılıç in the bow seat, but 16 years of age, as you say, silver medalist at the under-19 European Championships earlier this year. Silver in this very boat class. They've been building momentum, waiting for this moment. And, well, we're just in the heat, but they've timed it to perfection, and we'll look forward to seeing them in future rounds.
Kol lietuviams nelabai dėja sekasi, aš tik atkreipsiu dėmesį visų, kokia graži yra klasė pavienė dvivietė. Tai yra tiesiog įsikūnymas porinio darbo, kai mažiausias skaičius įmanomas sudaro komandą. Kažkas panašaus į karo aviaciją, kai lyderis ir jo wingmanas, jie dviese, ir tai yra nepaprastai gražiai klasė.
Turkey now in the final few strokes, just coming through the line. A job well done, and you get a sense of just how much of that margin they really built in over the last 1,500 meters. Fantastic effort from Turkey, and then back to Hungary out of lane 3. Again, 2 directly qualifying in each heat. We see on the other side of them the combination from Romania, and out of lane 5, Ukraine in the closing stages of their race. With Lithuania coming through here in the final 5-10 strokes as well. So fantastic effort from Turkey, as we heard, this young combination. So rising stars, names that we can, I would imagine, expect to see in years to come at under-23 championships and beyond. Happy with that performance. We get the thumbs up from Jan Yüce. Congratulations to Turkey. Well, that's the replay of the 4th heat of the under-19 men's pair with Latvia, Italy, Germany, and Austria, and it's been a fantastic start for the Italians. We saw such fantastic Italian fans in the grandstand. They'll be delighted to know that this combination of Novak Mitrovic and Pietro Blazig, 16 and 17 years old, lead the pack. They won the European under-19 championships in the under-19 men's 8, and well, they're leading the field in the early stages of this race. We can see on the big screen for a moment riding with the Latvian combination. So out of lane 1, it is Latvia. The Italians, though, up at the top of the field. Richie under threat from Germany.
That's what we want to see coming through 1,000 meters. Just a canvas separating the 2 leading crews. Germany just taking the lead there on the surge ahead of Italy, the early leaders through 500. So it's Germany now pushing on. Leander Reinhold in the bow seat, Enzio Floater in the stroke seat, pushing on and opening up. We just saw a canvas between them, 1 and 2, a little bit further back then to the Austrian crew. 4th in the Europeans, so a surprise to see them off the pace here, and maybe we'll see them come back into the mix when we come down into the run in towards the finish. The Latvian crew in the distance, you can see in the background there, a little bit off the pace in fourth place. But no doubt we have a very exciting finish heading our way between the German and the Italian crews. The Italians leading it off the start, high rate as we expect from the Italians. The German crew staying with them under increased pressure, and now they're rowing side by side here, contrasting styles again with the rates. Both the Italian crew still up at that higher 36, 37 strokes per minute. The German crew slightly lower, but you can see from the drone footage there, they're starting to extend the lead and wind out here, just still overlapping, so they haven't pulled away from the Italian crew, and we get down to the last 500, they might come back into the mix here, but Germany leading it out.
Paskutinis atrankos plaukimas vaikinų pavienėje dvivietėje ir turime Latvijos komandą, kuri yra pirmame atake. Latvijai kol kas atsilieka 16,33, kalbant apie pusę distancijos, atsilikimas tikrai didelis, o didžiausia kova vyksta tarp Vokietijos ir Italijos. Vokietija kol kas pirmoje pozicijoje pusėjus distancijai, tai yra komanda, kurią sudaro Lenderis Reineltas ir Enzio Flioteris. Abiem yra po 17 metų, bet nereikia nurašyti ir Italijos komandos. Būtent ši ekipa, du šios komandos nariai sugebėjo labai sėkmingai pasirodyti Europos čempionate. Iki 19 metų 8-vietėje jie tapo Europos čempionais, tai yra Novakas Mitrovičius ir Pietro Blazigas. Būtent toje komandoje jie buvo ir dabar matome, kad atsilieka nuo Vokietijos ekipos beveik 2,5 sekundės. Austrija atsilieka dar daugiau, tad panašu, kad persvara yra didelė ir Vokietija artėja pergalės link šioje atrankoje. Italija panašu, kad gali būti antroje pozicijoje.
That German crew just gliding through the water there. You can see the footage, absolutely ideal rowing conditions here. They've pushed on again and extended the lead, going from half a second through 1,000. They've now got clear water, and it's more than a little bit of one length of clear water. They head back to the Italians. Let's see the sprint finish yet again. The Latvian crew Austrian crew in third place. It's looking a little bit laboured, but they are staying in touch with 2:50 to go. It's all about the timing of perfection that this German crew have done.
Yeah, absolutely perfect timing. That's Leander Reinelt and Enzo Flioter, both 17 years old and making their international debut. Germany, just big effort has earned them this lead.
Vokietijos komanda irkluojanti trečių vandeniu duoda 16-15 metrų pranašumą italams, kurie yra antroje vietoje šiuo metu. Tiems, kas mėgsta skaičius, dabar greitis yra 4,83 metrai per sekundę, kas yra apie 17 km per valandą.
Good push from the Italians at the end, of course, cheered on by their supporters in the grandstand, but Germany just not having it. They increase the effort through the water, a little bit of an uptick in the stroke rate, and Germany says, choosy, they'll be first to cross through the line, followed by Italy, so those top two, again, in each heat to advance directly on. So a job well done, and then over to Austria, just coming through in those closing stages, and Latvia. So we see the winner of the under-19 men's pair, that's of heat number 4, it is Germany. And well, we understand that down at the grandstand, Rita, there's a bit of a competition going on not just the water, is that right?
We are here live, standing next to the stands, and we're going to play a little game called True or False. We have Danny from Adelaide. How are you, Danny?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
And we have Helen representing South Africa, but you come from Botswana.
That's correct, and we're loving your country. Thank you for welcoming us so well here.
Oh, you already said some nice words about Lithuania. You get extra point. Thank you. So we're going to play a small game, True or False. I'm going to be saying 5 statements, and our competitors just need to say true or false in their opinion. Whoever gets the most points out of the 5 statements, they're going to be winning some beautiful prizes. Okay? Are you ready for the first question?
Ready.
The Lithuanian word for rowing is kiaušinis.
True.
True.
No, actually, that word was egg. It's not rowing. It's not rowing. No, not at all. All right. So you not get both any points. All right. The Lithuanian word for or, you know that thingy, is irklas. Is that true or false?
True.
False.
Sorry, Helen. Danny, you get the first point. Yes. Lithuanian word for or is irklas. Stans, can you repeat that? Irklas. Beautifully done. All right. In 2016, in Rio Olympics, Lithuanian rower Milda Valčiukaitė won bronze medal. Milda's Valčiukaitė's surname literally means boat in Lithuanian language. True or false?
False.
True.
Danny, do you secretly speak Lithuanian or what? What's happening?
I watched that race. It was brilliant. She was awesome.
Yes. Actually, Milda's Valčiukaitė's surname means boat in Lithuania. Okay. But I have another one. I have two more left, so you can tie the score. All right. We have a word connected with rowing in our national anthem of Lithuania. Is that true or false? I'll start now with you, Helen.
I'm going to say true.
Danny?
True.
Both they are wrong. We don't have any words connected to rowing in our national anthem.
Are you sure? Can you go through every word? I need to check that.
Lietuva tėvynė. No, okay. We don't have time. We don't have time for that. Okay, the last question. 3 points for you, Danny, all right? The name of the guy who made this castle is the same name as the head of Lithuania Rowing Federation. Is that true or false?
True.
True.
Come on, guys, you started so well and now you're just wasting points. No. The guy who built the castle is Vytautas. The guy who runs Federation is Mindaugas, a former king also in our ancient times. So, thank you. Speaker, this speaks.
Well, back on the course, we have some fierce competition happening as well, perhaps not for points in true or false, but it's the first heat of the under-19 women's 4, so 2 to advance on. And the story of the race so far is all Italy all day. So this combination, loads of pedigree, and well, they're certainly making the best of it as they come just shy of the halfway point.
Italy leading it out, but a very similar flag is right beside them. It's the Irish crew in second place. These two a little bit further ahead of the Spanish crew in third. Croatia, in third, just moving in the last few hundred meters, going from fourth into third place. The Spanish push back into fourth. Denmark off the pace, just coming through the halfway mark now. But you did mention there, Colleen, just the pedigree they have. They won the Europeans, the Italian crew, and they also were third in the 8 last year, 2, 3, and stroke from that boat, as well as winning in the World Championship in the 4. They doubled up last year, so a lot of experience, and we did see them as the front runners for the gold medal when we get on to the finals. They're leading it out, but the Irish crew as well, in very much in touch, as you can see on screen. They're overlapping just maybe 3/4 of the length between Italy and Ireland. The Irish crew made up of 2 rowers, Anna and Sarah, both from Athlone, and Clodagh from my own club of St. Michael's, partnering up then with Isabel from Enniskillen as well. These 4 in second place at the moment, looking good ahead of the Croatian crew. The Croatian crew, a different combination. They came 4th in the pair, now in part of the 4s race, so we'll see if they'll get into the mix. These 3 then well ahead of Spain, back in 4th place in Denmark. So looking good so far for Italy and Ireland.
Persikeliame jau į kitas atrankos varžybos. Čia merginų keturvietė porinė valtis ir turime 3 atrankos plaukimus. Dabar pirmas plaukimas ir čia tiesiog dominuoja pirmas takas, tai yra Italija. Labai tuo stebėtis nereikėtų, tai yra šių metų Europos U19 čempionės, būtent jos laimėjo tas varžybos ir būtent sudėtis nesikeitė. Eliza Marčončinė, taip pat Matildė Orseti, Karolina Kazanė ir taip pat Leticija Martorana startavo. Visos jos startuoja ir būtent šiandien čia Trakose ir jos lyderiauja, kalbant apie atsilikimą, visai netoli yra ir Airija. Po pusės distancijos atsiliko tik šiek tiek daugiau nei sekundę, dabar atsilieka beveik 5 sekundėmis įveikus 1500 metrų. Kroatija yra 3 pozicijoje, atsilikimas jau didesnis, yra beveik 8 sekundės.
So similar styles in the water with both crews rating 36 strokes per minute for Italy and Ireland. The Italian crew just that bit quicker in the water and sees them opening up a little bit of a lead, but the Irish putting on a push here. Interesting to note as well, these two crews using that kind of bucket style rigging where the stroke and bow are on the stroke side, 2 and 3 are on the bow side then, so they're matching up there. Coming back into the mix as well as the Croatian crew, really putting on a big sprint finish here, and the Irish will have to keep an eye on them to secure that second spot. No doubt about it, the Italians stride on again, coming in with 2:50 to go, leading it out. All eyes on Ireland and Croatia.
All eyes on Ireland and Croatia, and of course that battle will push the Italians all the way to the line. The Italians with such a strong lead, but they'll have to keep an eye. That's Letizia Martorona in the stroke seat, 17 years of age. Italy continues to lead.
Kas labai įdomu yra čia moterų pavienės keturitas, kad greitis yra beveik toks pat kaip vyrų pavienės dvivietės, kas reiškia eilinį kartą, kad vyrai yra taip ir išlieka mužikais ir neužleidžia moteriams pirmų pozicijų greičio prasme.
Well, we saw just a look at the Irish fans. They'll certainly need to urge this crew on because, yes, Croatia is doing everything they possibly can to get their bow ahead, but Team Ireland holds up at the top of the field. It is Italy. Italy takes it up a notch, holding off the charge from Croatia, from Team Ireland, but the Irish fans will be delighted to know that Team Ireland is continuing to hold up at 40 strokes per minute. The Croatians will just run out of time, run out of water, ever so close between these two crews. Congratulations to Italy. It is Ireland to capture the second qualifying position. Then it's back to Croatia, over to Spain out of lane 5. And in their final stretch of this race, it's Denmark out of lane 3. We see the handshakes from the Italians just catching their breath. They'll be delighted with that performance, I'm sure. And no surprise maybe to see the Irish sprint. We are quite accustomed to that. So well done to the Irish to take that second qualifying position. That was heat number 1 of the U19 Women's 4. Well, back on the course, we look forward to heat number 2 of the Under-19 Women's 4. That's a replay of the start with Poland, Romania, Germany, the USA, and France. And, well, at the moment, these athletes already in the second quarter of the race, riding now with Team USA, who has led from the early going. So first to the 500-meter timing block, chasing down that halfway point. It is Team USA. Closest to them, it's Germany, then very, very close to Germany, Romania, over to Poland, and then just back to France. We have a 5-boat race coming down, and you get a sense now of just how tightly packed they are. It's the USA with about a length advantage or so over the field.
They're striding out here, and it is a class field from the USA because they have got 3 of the crew that won in the 8 last year at the World Championships. Now combining into this combination in the 4, you can see they're just inching ahead to get a little bit of clear water. But really all 5 crews overlapping here and within striking distance coming up to the halfway mark. Still, it is the USA leading it out in second place at the moment. The Romanians moving from 5th into second place, and you can see them just edging ahead and coming in at the halfway mark, just starting to take maybe a 3/4 of a length or a canvas over the crew from Germany and about back in 3rd place, the Polish crew in 4th, and France in 5th. All crews overlapping, so all within striking distance, but we know that they will run out of water very quickly, especially in the big boats here. Looking good for USA, leading it out. They're taking the Romanians with them.
Turime labai konkurencingą atrankos plaukimą. Visos komandos telpa, galima sakyti, tas 7 sekundės. Prancūzės atsilieka 6,5 ir tai tikrai nėra daug. Jos 5 pozicijoje labai gerai pradėjo amerikietės, pirmauja kol kas visą distanciją. Na, panašu, rumunės pasidėliojo jėgas. Antras takas, rumunės yra Europos čempionato bronzos medalininkės ir jos startavo ne taip gerai, buvo 5 po 500 metrų, bet dabar veržėsi į 2 poziciją ir 2 vietoje ir šiuo metu tas atsilikimas nėra didelis nuo amerikiečių, tai yra 15 metrų ir jeigu kalbėtume apie tempo, jis šiuo metu beje yra netgi pats geriausias, na netoli amerikiečių, tad Jungtinės valstijos ir Rumunija kol kas tokia atkakliausia kova, beje Vokietija yra taip pat arti, ji buvo antroje pozicijoje po 500 metrų ir atsilikimas įpusėjus distanciją buvo tikrai nedidelis nuo Rumunijos, viso labo na kelios dešimtys sekundžių.
Great footage we're seeing here on the drones, and also side by side the crews coming in. The Romanian crew in the foreground, they're in second place at the moment. They're starting to eat back into the lead that the USA have opened up. Back in the third and fourth position, then the Polish crew are behind Germany. Alexandra Nowicka in the bow seat for Poland. It's her birthday tomorrow, so we're hoping maybe she will have something to celebrate here. They're coming and put pressure on that German crew, and they're pushing on with the Romanians as well. 500 to go, and USA lead out with clear water. They're in full control of the race here in lane 4, able to look left and right and see what pushes are coming their way. They responded to the Romanian push that came through the last few hundred meters, and now leading it out, coming in towards the finish. You can see the drone footage there, just edging ahead of the Romanian crew in second place. Real battle then on between Germany and Poland. They might get a bit of an overlap here in the run-in towards the finish, but with 2:50 to go, they're going to run out of water. So it's all about USA, Romania looking good for the 2 qualifying spots.
Yeah, the USA able to push back on the Romanians who started to challenge them. This combination from the US, a real talent for them. We know stroked by Claire Van Praag from Row America Rye, who will row at Stanford. And well, she's doing a great job setting a rhythm for this USA crew. 39 strokes per minute, the USA leads.
Jungtinės Amerikos valstijos šiuo metu pirmauja ir gana užtikrintai dėmesio progresija šiame moterų be vairių keturviečių plaukime. Čia antras iš 3. Pirmos 2 vietos patenka į pusfinalį, 1, 6 geriausius laikus parodė į pusfinalį ir 7 ir žemesnės vietos į finalą C.
Then Prague kicks it up to 40 strokes per minute. The USA now leading in these closing stages. Romania able to take back just a few meters from that last checkpoint, but the US continuing to hold. Romania up at 39 strokes per minute. And of course, Romania so proficient with sweep rowing and in this boat class in particular. But it is the USA who will cross first in this heat number 2. It's the US followed by Romania. Those are our 2 qualifiers. And then what an absolutely stellar race just behind them. We heard the horns for Poland and Germany. We'll get the final result in just a moment, and then France out of lane 5. Absolutely thrilling second heat of the under-19 women's 4. Some high fives from the American combination, and yeah, another high five. That's Leah Nathan in the bow, back to Tegan Farley. They'll be happy with that performance as Romania cools down and again captures that second direct qualifying spot.
All right, let's check the musical knowledge of this beautiful stance. All right, I'm gonna sing you one song, and I might throw myself under the bus because you might not know this song. It goes like this. Hey, 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 baby. Ooh, ha, I wanna roll down in Trakai. Can we sing that? All right, let's start. Hey, 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 baby. Ooh, ha, I wanna roll down in Trakai. And the last time, I promise. Hey, 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 baby. Ooh, ha, I wanna roll down in Trakai. Amazing! Woo!
Well, yeah, we'll be singing that one in our heads for quite some time, and maybe even as we take a look at this replay of the start. It's heat number 3 for the under-19 women's 4s, and riding now with New Zealand. New Zealand, not the quickest off the line, but a good start from what we saw here in the tower. That's a look at Lithuania, our hometown favorites here, and up at the top of the field, just off the picture as they move through the second quarter, it is Great Britain, perhaps no surprise. We knew that this combination was going to be strong, and yeah, well, they're proving to be just that. We've got a couple of silver medalists from the under-19 championships back in 2024. They rode in the 8. They've now moved into the 4 and have a lot to prove here at a cool 35 strokes per minute. You get a sense of just the advantage that they've been able to build as they approach halfway.
Looking good and in control, but staying with them as well, the Austrian crew, just a little bit of clear water back to them in second place, but GB lead it out. Just a little bit of clear water said coming through. Then the Austrian crew, New Zealand in third place, overlapping with the Austrian crew. China as well, just half a length off the pace of the New Zealand crew. The only crew, the Lithuanian crew, just a little bit further back in fifth place. So they'll need all the help from the crowd when they come in the run into the finish to take it up a level and bring them back and bring them home into the mix here. Really class display though from GB, coached by Ryan Demain, really pushing on here as they come up to 500 meters to go. They've moved on from the just a length and a half that they had coming through 500. They're really opening up clear water here, and the GB crew 35 strokes per minute, but their boat is consistently the fastest one out on the water. It's allowing them to open up this clear water and stay in full control. Absolutely beautiful drone footage. You can see how magnificent this lake is and just how much they're enjoying the rowing here, especially GB, in full control of the race coming down.
Paskutinis atrankos plaukimas šioje keturviečių įskaitoje. Matome ir Lietuvos komanda. Pirmų takų startuoja jaunos lietuvės. Jos kol kas yra 5 būtent šiame plaukime. Godai Šupšinskaitai ir taip pat Gabrieliai Kazakevičiūtei vos po 15 metų. Gretai Bukauskaitai 17, Skaistai Skripkauskaitai ir 18 metų. Būtent jos startuoja. Jos kol kas atsilieka į pusėjus distanciją 18 sekundžių ir 700, bet labai, galima sakyti, stiprus plaukimas. Visos sportininkės netelpa į tas 9 sekundės. Atsilikimas Kinijos komandos yra mažiau nei 9 sekundės, taip pat 7 sekundėmis atsilieka Naujosios Zelandijos komanda. Na, o didžiausia intriga tarp bričių ir austrių. Austrijos yra šių metų Europos čempionato keturviečių vicečempionės, tad, na, galima sakyti, kad tikrai labai rimta komanda, bet Britės kol kas lyderiauja. 1500 metrų būtent joms pakluso anksčiausiai, jos įveikė greičiausiai ir atsilikimas, matome, Austrijos yra labai didelis, tad turbūt didesnė intriga, kas užims antrą vietą. Britės labai lengvai turėtų finišuoti pirmoje pozicijoje.
So 2 of these crews from the GB crew have won a silver medal at the World Championships last year in the 8, now racing here in the 4. Similar with the Austrian crew, they did come second at the European, so good bit of pedigree there, and they raced in the 8s last year, placing 4th, bow and stroke of the Austrian crew as we see them on screen there. So they are the 1 and 2 at the moment. Further back then to New Zealand and China, who really side by side, they're pushing on to try to get back in the mix here. The New Zealand crew putting little pressure now on and bringing China with them on the crew from Austria. No doubt about the leaders here. GB power home, still holding 36 strokes per minute, while the others start to take the rate up. They're into the red boys. It's all eyes on 3 crews for that last qualifying spot coming in between Austria, New Zealand and China.
Yeah, all eyes on the qualifying position, and right now riding with Great Britain. We see that power, that rhythm just really working for them, stroked by Amelia Westbrook, 18 years of age. Back behind them, though, the battle continues. Who will directly qualify?
Lietuvės yra net 2 15-metės mergaitės, tai yra Goda ir Gabrielė, Gretai 17, Skaistė 18, jos irkluoja pirmų vandeniu ir jos dėja atsilieka net 156 metrais nuo lyderių bričių, o dabar visų dėmesys į finalą, į finišo tiesėje.
Well done to Great Britain. I'm sure that race has gone exactly according to plan for them, finishing out at about 37 strokes per minute, so just a slight uptick. And then just behind them, well, the Austrians sprinting, People's Republic of China, and the Kiwis going too. But it looks good for Austria, then back to the People's Republic of China, over to New Zealand, and on the course, the Lithuanians out of lane 1. The winners, though, of this final heat, it's the under-19 women's 4. It is Great Britain with quite an advantage in doing it in style. We see the supporters in the grandstand, big shouts. Austria will be delighted with that performance as well, so capturing the second qualifying position. And then we'll know soon, once we get a final look at times, who the remaining qualifiers were. In third place, the People's Republic of China. So we'll take a look then at the progression here from the heats to the semifinals of the under-19 women's four. We know to the semifinal we'll see the US, Italy, Great Britain, Romania, Ireland, Austria, Germany, Croatia, the People's Republic of China, Poland, Spain and France. So congratulations to these crews who we look forward to seeing in the next round.
All right, we are here in the stands and we have one of the loudest fan bases here from Austria. All right, guys, who are you supporting today? What are the heroes of yours?
The heroes, we are supporting the women's, the fours. And Francisca is my daughter, and I'm pretty proud. She's reached the second place with her team, and it's pretty fine.
All right, you also support the same person or another?
Yes, yes.
All right. What do you love the most about rowing? Tell us shortly.
It's about the strength and the poor power the girls bring into the sport.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
All right, so, okay, we're wrapping up and we're giving word back to Richie. Richie, back to you.
Thanks, and we're picking up the action of the first heat of the men's four and under-19 fours are underway, and it is again 6-boat race here in the first race. In the next two heats with 5 boats racing. They've gone through the halfway mark, and the Australian crew leading it out ahead of the young Turkey crew in second place, France in third, Poland in fourth, South Africa fifth, and Serbia back in sixth place. No surprise to see the Australians lead it out here, 2 and 3. Angus and Thomas in that boat. Both won in the 4 last year at the World Championship, so bringing that experience and knowledge into the boat here. They're leading it out, but the Turkey crew, big surprise to see them in here in second place, overlapping and just holding off France when they came through the halfway mark. In the mix as well is the Polish crew. These 4 a little bit ahead of South Africa and Serbia, but really, as you can see on screen here, all within an overlap from first to sixth place here. So great racing so far from the Australians, leading out. Turkey just on their on lane 4. You can see now coming up to challenge, and it looks like they might be coming into the mix as well here into first and second place. A little bit further back than to the other positions that are there. 2 to qualify. Looking good so far for Australia and Turkey.
Prasidėjo jau kitos atrankos varžybos, dabar jau turime vaikinus, porinės valtis, matome čia keturvietės ir galimybę stebėti būtent šią atranką. Ir na, čia 3 atrankos plaukimai, būtent po vienėse valtise, ir turime pirmą galimybę stebėti, kaip sekasi sportininkams, ir jiems sekasi šiaip visai neblogai, labai atkaklus, galima sakyti, šis plaukimas. Australija pirmauja, turi nemažai sportininkų, kurie gana sėkmingai pasirodė ir kitose įskaitose. Na ir taip pat Turkija yra antroje pozicijoje, atsilieka labai nedaug, atsilieka mažiau nei 1,5 sekundės. Ir kalbant apie kitą komandą, kurią verta išskirti, tai būtų Prancūzija. Prancūzija labai sėkmingai pasirodė šių metų Europos čempionate, U19 čempionate iškovojo bronzos medalius. Kol kas prancūzai atsilieka, šiuo metu atsilikimas yra beveik 4 sekundės, tad tikrai visko dar gali būti. Pirmos 2 valtis keliaus iš karto tolyn.
Turkey taking it up to 39 strokes, 40 strokes per minute in the run into the finish. They're putting increased pressure, but the Australian crew calm under the pressure, and they still lead it out.
Yeah, calm under the pressure indeed. Angus Tushulku in the stroke seat, setting the rhythm, and just behind him, Tomas and Matthias Maloney. So twins, and took a gold in the under-19 men's coxed 4 at the last under-19 championships last year. So Ms. Maloney, if you are in the stands, we're very happy to see your sons doing a fantastic job here. It's looking like Australia will be first across the line. They did have quite an answer, I'd say, for Turkey. A good job to Turkey with that push, but the Aussies hold them off. Turkey to take that second place position, that qualifying spot. It is Australia. Turkey will get a sense of these finishing orders in just a moment. Coming through the line, Serbia now, and then over to the far side, it is South Africa. So good effort from the Aussies to hold off the charge from Turkey. Will be fantastic to see them in the next round of racing, and yeah, they'll be quite happy, I'm sure, with that performance. Well done to the Aussies, and fantastic support here from the grandstand.
Now it's a very serious time to check the fan bases, how loud they are. And now I'm gonna say a country's name, and the fan base from that country has to make the best possible noise ever, all right? I start with Ireland! Pretty good. Now I go to Vive la France! And Lithuanians love their neighbors. Poland! And I know that in the stands we have Germany. Yay! And I know back there, they are crazy people from South Africa. That's amazing. All right. It's only for Thursday. Imagine what's going to be happening here on weekend days. So back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. We look forward to those weekend days to come. And, well, right now, during the weekdays, we're moving through the under-19 men's four. You can see the water, just a little bit of a bobble, certainly still fair conditions, and these fours handling it very well. Now in the second quarter of the heat number 2 for the U19 four. And, well, the German fans that we just saw will be delighted to know that this German combo has led from the start, and it's looking good for them to capture the fastest time at the halfway point. This combo making their international debut.
And what a debut they're making, because they're down at 34 strokes per minute in full control of the race here. You can see them top of your screen coming up now with the 1,000-meter mark. 3/4 of a length they lead it out ahead of the Uzbekistani crew in second place. They're the 1 and 2 a little bit further back then to the crews from Romania, Canada, Ireland coming back into the mix as well. Overhead footage you can see of the 5 crews coming down. We had 6 in the last race where we saw Australia and Turkey take the qualifying spots. 2 spots available again here, and the Germans looking good and starting to open up a little bit of clear water, but the chasing pack center of the course between Uzbekistan and Romania pushing each other on here, just 0.3 of a second separating the 2 crews. Ireland have done well to move from 5th place into 4th place just on the last 200 meters as well, and they're inching forward to try get an overlap with the crews from Uzbekistan, Romania. The Canadian crew off the pace at the moment, but still overlapping with Ireland, back in 5th place.
Šiame atrankos plaukime turime Vokietiją, kuri kol kas yra geriausia, kuri lyderiauja ir lenkia visus savo varžovus, bet laikai labai panašus. Netoli yra ir Rumunija. Rumunija yra šių metų Europos jaunių iki 19 metų čempionė, būtent ši įgula. Ir matome tempą, kol kas Vokietija greičiausia tempo diktuoja. Taip pat ir Kanada bando aštrinti savo plaukimą, bando būti dar greitesni, nors kol kas tai yra komanda, kuri yra 5 vietoje pusėjus distanciją, tad Vokietija kol kas lyderiauja, bet atstumai, galima sakyti, yra netokie dideli, 23 metrais atsilieka Rumunija, kurios tempas šiuo metu yra beveik 5 metrai per sekundę, tad tikrai gali bandyti vyti savo varžovus.
Fantastic footage there. We saw the Romanian and Irish crews in the background, and then as it panned out, we saw our leaders, Germany. They push on. The 3/4 of a length lead that they have has now opened up into clear water. They are in full control here, coming through with 500 to go. A dominant display from Germany. Romania in second place at the moment, holding off the Uzbeki crew. So they've moved from 3rd into 2nd, looking to secure that spot, and they push on and open up a little bit more of a lead over the Uzbekistani crew. The Irish crew done well, as I mentioned, coming back in it here. Paul representing Clostegnoid, and Richard from Athlone, Tommy from Neptune, Daniel from Methody, well supported here in the grandstands, and that roar will try get them back in the mix here. But no doubt about the leaders as they come in towards the finish. Germany leading it out, and similar to the last race, we've 3 crews in the mix for the 2 qualifying spots. Can Romania hold off the challenge that's coming from Uzbekistan and Ireland?
Oh, the challenge is coming indeed, and what a race developing just behind Germany. No doubt Germany will see this Jan Leitzen in the stroke seat, Colin Lieber in the 3 seat, both of them setting a really solid rhythm. Again, just fantastic to see these 4 making their international debut and holding their own in this first heat. They will see the race developing behind them.
Vokiečių greitis yra pats didžiausias šiuo metu, jie pirmauja, artimiausias takas jums, tačiau jų įrių skaičius per minutę yra pats mažiausias, tai kad jie rodo, kaip flegmatiškai galima būti nugalėtojais lėtai ir tuojant, ta prasme.
Well, Germany certainly coming in first in this heat. We see the surge of the bow of Romania, Team Ireland, and then just off the pace behind them, Uzbekistan. You hear the horns. We'll get a sense of final times in just a moment. The Canadians now in their final few strokes. A job well done to the Germans, no doubt about it. Germany led start to finish with a time of 6:18.2. It is Romania to capture the second qualifying position. And yeah, the Germans just catching their breath. They'll be happy with that performance, and we'll look forward to seeing what they can put together in future rounds. The Romanians able to hold off the charge from Ireland, from Uzbekistan to take that second qualifying position. Once again, it's 1 to 2 in each heat to qualify directly, and from there, the 6 fastest times of the remaining crews. It makes for really fantastic racing in the heats because it means that, well, there's no second chance. You need to just go for it, and that's what all of these crews have done. We see Romania here with that mid-race push to just edge themselves over the Irish. It is Germany and Romania to advance on directly.
We are joined here by the future rowing stars of Lithuania. Guys, what are your names?
Ąžuolas, Matas.
Ąžuolas and Matas. And please tell us about your class. Which class did you participate today in?
In men's pair.
And how was it?
Quite difficult air conditions, but it's very happy. We are very happy to participate in this event as Lithuanian team.
Nice, nice. O dabar mes perėsim į lietuvių kalbą, jeigu niekas mūsų nesupranta, koks yra jausmas varžytis, kai aplinkui tokie pažįstami vaizdai, Trakų pilis, Galvės ežeras ir viskas. Tai koks tas jausmas, Matai?
Intensyvus, labai daug veiksmo ir jo.
Geriausia dalis buvo, kai finiše aiškiai išgirdom skanduojant Lietuvą.
Čia geriausias jausmas, ar ne?
Taip.
Už Lietuvą.
Ačiū labai, vyrukai, ačiū, Matai. Ačiū tau, Ąžuolai. These guys just talked how it's nice to row here where you know every surroundings, every bit drop of the lake of Galve, and of course every brick of the great Trakai castle. So back to you guys. I'm so happy to talk to these guys.
Yeah, back on the course coming down the track. It's the under-19 men's four. It's heat number 3 with Italy, the United States, the People's Republic of China, Lithuania, and Great Britain. Great Britain with a fantastic start. They've been able to build momentum, and it looks like they're carrying that through now to halfway.
Just gone through the halfway mark, and they have a little bit of clear water back to the Italians in second place, right beside the Italians. USA very much in the mix for that second spot. A little bit further back then you can see on screen to the other two crews from China and Lithuania back in 4th and 5th, so might come down yet again to a battle for the second qualifying spot. GB looking good, a little bit of experience here from the GB crews, 2 and stroke, part of the crew that won the 8 last year in the World Championship, so they're bringing that experience as well. So that's Edward and Ellum in the 2 and stroke C, coached by Matthew Harris. Will, I'm sure, be happy to see them leading it out here. The Italian crew as well, such a big rowing CV here. It's a new combination since the Europeans, but a huge amount of experience coming in the pair and the 4 and other events as well as medaling in the World Championships and Europeans from last year, racing in the 4 and the 8. So they're very much in the mix here, these two crews. The USA as well in 3rd place, overlapping with the Italians, and these are the ones that are in the mix well ahead of China and Lithuania.
Ketvirtame take turime Lietuvą, Augustas Kymantas, taip pat Kristianas Moraras Urbonas, Vilius Gicevičius ir Matas Narbutas startuoja. Kaip visada lietuvių komanda yra labai jauna ir kaupia patirtį, taip galima sakyti. Šiuo metu Morarui Urbonui ir Gicevičiui yra po 15 metų, Kymantui 16, Narbutui yra 17, tad komanda jauna, kol kas atsilikimas 14:38 po pusės distancijos. Lietuviai yra 5, bet čia tempo diktuoja, galima sakyti, 2 kolektyvai, tai yra 2 komandos. Didžiosios Britanijos įgula yra greičiausia, jį kol kas lenkia visus savo varžovus, bet netoli kovoje yra ir Italija. Italija labai stipri ekipa, tai yra komanda, kuri Europos vicečempionė, tiesa sudėti šiek tiek keitėsi, jeigu lygintume su Europos čempionatu, tada buvo Ludoviko Alfieri, dabar jį keičia Matėjo Trevizanas, bet visi kiti 3 sportininkai yra tie patys, kurie laimėjo medalį Europos čempionate. Ir atsilikimas po 1500 metrų nuo lyderių Britų yra 3:45 ir taip pat amerikiečiai yra kovoje dėl pirmų 2 kelialapių iš karto į pusfinalį. 4:30 yra atsilikimas Jungtinių valstijų komandos, tad amerikiečiai kaunasi, o lietuviai bando vytis Kinijos komanda. Atsilikimas yra 2:48 būtent nuo kinų. Kinai kol kas yra ketvirti.
So the GB crew leading it into the last 250, similar to the race that we just saw with the Germans leading it out in the very same lane, and they have clear water. Then back to the two crews that are really sprinting side by side here. The Italians taking it up to 43 strokes per minute. The USA now up at 41. These two pushing on, but I think the Italians looking good. GB leading it out. Italy looking good for the second spot. What can USA do?
Yeah, USA will have to respond now. We know that the Italians have a sprint in them. Their team, through all of the ages, the under-19s, under-23s, and seniors are known for that. The Americans will need to go now because the Italians are responding. Great Britain continues to lead.
Artimiausias vėl prie tribūnų lyderiaujantis ekipažas yra Britai ir jie rodo labai mažą tempą palyginus su antroje vietoje esančiais Italais.
And it is Great Britain first across the line. No surprise there, 36 strokes per minute. The Italians go. They have taken up the stroke rate. We see that they are through the line. It got them about a length or so advantage over the Americans. Perhaps the Americans will go earlier in the next round. Well, once we get a sense of exactly who qualifies, I should say. Coming through then is the People's Republic of China out of lane 3. And a job well done to Lithuania out of lane 4 in their final strokes. Italy delighted with that result. We see a little wave there from Romeo in the 3 seat. The US just cooling down. That's third overall in this heat. So a look then at the athletes, the teams that have qualified into the semi-final from the under-19 men's 4. Great Britain, Australia, Germany, Turkey, Italy, Romania, France, the United States of America, indeed, out of that last heat. Ireland, Poland, Uzbekistan, and Serbia.
Mes turime naujienas apie tai, kas pateko į pusfinalį vyrų pavienių keturviečių. Tai yra Didžioji Britanija, Australija, Vokietija, Turkija, Italija, Rumunija, Prancūzija, JAV, Airija, Lenkija, Serbija ir Uzbekistanas.
We'll bring our attention back now onto the course. For the next event, it's the under-19 women's quad with Romania, Great Britain, Lithuania, Italy, and the People's Republic of China. We have a sense now of the standings at 500 meters down. Great Britain fans will be delighted to know that their combination currently leads Charlotte van der Wiel in the stroke seat for Great Britain, 35 strokes per minute. So this rhythm really working quite nicely with them. Closest on their heels were it's Italy and Romania, looking to capture that next qualifying position. Still early goings though, Richie.
So early goings, and this new combination from GB leading it out at the moment just by about half a length. GB winning bronze in 2023, silver in 2024. The big question, can they step up and take gold in 2025? A lot of experience in the new combination here, and they're leading it out. You can just see 3/4 of a length that they have over the Italian crew in second place, moving from third into second. The Romanians push back, but really absolutely nothing between Italy and Romania, barely half a canvas separating those two crews. Still the Lithuanians and China back further. The Lithuanian crew in fourth place at the moment. Little bit of overlap with the Romanians, so they're not out of it yet. The Chinese crew, it has to be said, a little bit further back as they approach the more than halfway gone there. But GB leading it out, looking good. The Italian crew, very experienced in the quad and in the single new combination here. They raced at the Europeans and into the A finals in the quad and the single, also coming third in the World Championships last year in the quad. So no surprise to see them in the mix here. But GB leading it out ahead of Italy. The question is, what can Romania do to get into that second qualifying spot?
Prasidėjo dar viena atranka, dabar jau turime merginas, tai yra porinės keturvietės valtys ir čia yra galimybė stebėti ir lietuves. Trečias takas yra būtent Lietuvos komanda, Goda Glušauskaitė, Ema Glušauskaitė, taip pat Jolanta Sinkevičiūtė ir Deivilė Binkytė. Goda ir Ema yra beje sesės dvynės, po 15 metų yra joms, pradėjo sportuoti 11 metų Kauno sporto mokykloje Bangpūtys. Na, šiek tiek vyresnės yra Sinkevičiūtė ir Blinkytė, joms yra po 18 metų, bet tikrai vėlgi jauna komanda ir labai gerai laikosi kol kas šiame atrankos plaukime, yra 4 vietoje po pusės distancijos, 4,64 yra atsilikimo, artėjame prie 1500 metrų, kol kas labai gerai atrodo Britės, jos pirmauja nuo pat starto, nuo pat pradžių, yra ir gana rimta Rumunijos ekipa, tai yra šių metų Europos čempionato prizininkės, tiesa, ne visa komanda, pora sportininkių, tai yra Kulidiuk ir Maksimiuk dalyvavo būtent tame čempionate, abiem yra po 16 metų, šiek tiek įgula keitėsi, jeigu lygintume su Europos čempionatu, bet Rumunės tikrai yra vienos favoričių ir jos kol kas yra 3 vietoje, antroje pozicijoje yra Italijos komanda, atsilieka 3 sekundėmis 31/100, tad irgi galima sakyti, kad yra labai artimoje kovoje dėl pirmos pozicijos, bet Britės atrodo labai gerai nuo pat starto ir panašu, kad keliauja pergalės link būtent šiame atrankos plaukime.
So 13 crews are contesting the women's quad race here, and just one crew are going to be eliminated through the heats as they move on to 12 that will advance on to the semi-final. Looking good so far for GB. We mentioned that they won bronze in 23, silver in 24, and the quest for gold in 25 is in everyone's minds. They're leading it out here, and again, all eyes on that second qualifying spot. And coming into the finish, Romania and Italy battling it out.
Yeah, Romania taking some kind of a push now. We see an increase in boat speed. Italy's spot under threat.
Pirmos, antros vietos pateka į pusfinalį, o tuo tarpu mūsų mergaitės Goda, Ema, Jolanta ir Deivilė, pasiųskit joms telepatinius drugelius, kad jos užimtų antrą vietą šiame plaukime. Kol kas jos yra 4, sergam už jas.
Well, GB continues to hold the lead. The Romanians are moving. Italy is holding. Italy takes it up to 41 strokes per minute. Romania at 40. Great Britain absolutely untouchable, but who will take that second qualifying position? Italy holding off Romania in the final few strokes, ever so close. It is Italy just over Romania. A fantastic end to that heat. And then coming through the line, it is Lithuania, and on the course in their final few strokes, the People's Republic of China. And yeah, Great Britain just catching their breath, and a fantastic effort from them all the way down the track to take first in this under-19 women's quad. Italy to capture that second direct qualifying position, just edging out Romania. They would not be passed. Romania put on the move at the end, and we'll have to keep an eye on who qualifies, but I would imagine the Romanians perhaps wishing they sprinted just a little bit earlier. Those are the times for the under-19 women's quad. Well, this is the replay of heat number 2 of the under-19 women's quad with Germany, Czechia, the United States, and Greece. A clean start for all of these crews, riding there for a moment with the combination from Czechia. Up at the top of the screen, it is Germany, though, leading this race at a cool 35 strokes per minute, just off the picture now. But first to the 500, leading the pack. That's a look at the combo from the United States of America. And, well, Richie, just kind of mid-second quarter. Germany's plan is a little bit patient, but it's working for them, 35 strokes per minute.
Yeah, they have the most consistent boat speed out on the water, and they keep in the rate 35, 34 strokes per minute in full control there, leading it out ahead then of the crew from Czechia in second place, ahead of Greece in third place. Bit of a surprise to see Greece. They came second in the Europeans, 3 out of the 4 combination that we have here. So back and off the pace in third at the moment. USA in fourth place that we can see on screen there. The two crews from USA and Greece on screen for the 1,000-meter mark is just going to be in sight for our leaders, but they are currently third and fourth respectively. Germany leading it out, really nice display from them. This combination pushing through just with an overlap, 3/4 of a length. They're ahead of the Czechia crew. The Czechia crew as well, a combination of different boats that raced in the Europeans, both the quad, the double and the single now coming together to race here, and they're in the mix for the second qualifying spot. Germany and Czechia leading it out, and we're starting to see the Greek crew starting to turn it on now. Boat speed is starting to come up at 35, 36 strokes per minute, and they're coming back into the mix, but no doubt about the two leaders here, Germany and Czechia, looking good.
Taigi dar vienas atrankos plaukimas ir čia labai atkaklus plaukimas, tik amerikietės atsilieka šiek tiek daugiau, beveik 10 sekundžių, visos kitos yra gana arti ir galbūt stebina šiek tiek tai, kad Graikija yra kol kas tik trečioje vietoje, nepaisant to, kad tai yra Europos vicečempionės, tiesa sudėtis šiek tiek keitėsi, galbūt ir tai turi įtakos, o Vokietija beje pirmauja nuo pat pradžių, demonstruoja tikrai labai solidų plaukimą ir Čekija irgi yra netoli, po 500 metrų atsiliko mažiau nei sekundę, dabar atsilieka šiek tiek daugiau nei 2 sekundėmis ir kalbant apie atsilikimo šiuo metu, tai Čekės atsilieka nuo Vokietijos komandos vos 7 metrais, tad intriga, galima sakyti, yra didžiulė ir jeigu kalbėtume apie greitį šiuo metu, tai Čekės didina tempą ir bando vytis būtent pirmaujančias vokietės.
So it might be a bit of a cliche to talk about German efficiency, but efficient they are because they're at 33 strokes per minute and the boat is absolutely singing down the course here towards us in the finish. They are not having it their own way. This Czechia crew, I mentioned new combination coming through, and they're powering on different style here up at 36 strokes per minute, but coming up with 500 to go. They're putting pressure on the Germans. That 3/4 of a length lead that they had is now half a length, and they start to turn it on. The Germans will take the rate up, I'm sure, in the next push of the last 500 in that run in towards the finish. Further back to the Greek crew back in third place, and I mentioned bit of a surprise, thought they'd be in the mix here to see in the qualifying, and they'll be racing against the clock because they've too much work to do to get back in touch with Czechia and with Germany for the qualifying spots. They're approaching that little island that you see at the top of your screen. Means 2:50 to go is coming into sight. Germany leading it out, but I have to say really impressive from Czechia, putting pressure on the Germans in the run into the finish.
Okay, Germany, here's your answer. We see the boat speed increase for Germany at 34 strokes per minute against Czechia's 37. Germany is getting the job done in the water. They have answered Czechia's push, and well, they didn't quite like that because they've been able to now move away and push Czechia back.
Vokietės demonstruoja 5 metrų per sekundę greitį, kas yra labai neblogas. Jos pirmauja, Čekės atsilieka 10 metrų, dar turi šansų. Žiūrėsim, kaip joms seksis. Beje, tai yra antra pagal greitį klasę apskritai irklavime, nusileidžianti tik 8.
Anna Haskova in the stroke seat for Czechia with another response. Her and her boatmates increase the boat speed. So Germany 36, Czechia 38, about 9 meters separating them. We're starting to run out of water. It's looking like it will be Germany again, too, to advance on from this heat. But what a battle between these two crews, Germany and Czechia. Such confidence from the German crew that has earned them this top position in the heat. They're first to cross through the line with good overlap from Czechia, and again, a job well done. Anna Haskova in the stroke seat, 18 years old. So it is Germany and Czechia to advance directly, then back to Greece as the USA new combination rounds out their heat as well. So 3 of the 4 boatmates in the USA combo making their international debut. So job well done to Mira Meek, Claire Junius, Emma Kirk, and Claire Sopko of the USA. And Czechia, again, to capture that second qualifying position with Germany leading. Back on the course, it's heat number 3 of the under-19 women's quad. A look at the start. That's the replay with Poland, Ukraine, New Zealand, and Canada. A clean start for all of these crews riding for a moment with this combination from Ukraine. And Maria Robel in the stroke seat, setting that rhythm. But back up with the Canadians, and just out of the picture at the top of the field, confirming that it is the Kiwis. It's New Zealand, all making their international debut.
And what a debut it is to be leading out the third heat in the under-19 women's quad. New Zealand doing what needs to be done, but the Ukrainian crew and the Polish crew very much in touch when they went through the 500-metre mark. The Canadian crew that we see there, a little bit off the pace back and forth, with clear water between them and the 3 leading crews. So they've a bit of work to do to get back in the mix here. The Canadian crew, Jade Postma in the stroke seat, doing her best to get the crew into a nice steady rhythm as they come up. You can see in the background that 1,000-metre marker is coming up fast, and we'll get the positions as they come through. The New Zealand crew looking good. Alice Denner, the coach, will be pleased to see Larry Clare in the stroke seat dishing it out as they come through. But just on the 1,000-metre mark, it's actually Poland, the Polish crew, the European champions from earlier on this season, now taking on the mantle of the lead and just opening up a canvas lead over New Zealand. They're the 1 and 2, and these two push each other on ahead of Ukraine back in third. They're the 1, 2, and 3, and you can see the Canadian crew on the left-hand side of the screen, just a little bit further back and off the pace, but no doubt a good push here from the Polish crew. Sees them move from third into first in the last few hundred meters, down at 34 strokes per minute. The Ukrainian crew doing their best now, up pushing at 38 to try get a squeeze on here and see if they can come into the mix between Poland and New Zealand.
Trečias ir paskutinis atrankos plaukimas turime Europos čempiones. Tai yra Lenkijos komanda, kuri visiškai nesikeitė, ta pati sudėtis, ta pati įgula, kuri laimėjo Europos čempionato aukso medalius šiame sezone. Ir Lenkijas galima sakyti, kad taupė šiek tiek jėgas distancijos pradžioje, buvo trečios po 500 metrų, bet atsilikimas nebuvo didelis, sekundė 37/100. Galiausiai Lenkija pakilo į pirmą poziciją ir jeigu dabar matytume greitį, tai tas greitis yra būtent geriausias Lenkijos komandos ir Lenkijas didina atotrūkį nuo Naujosios Zelandijos ekipos, kuris startavo geriausiai, buvo pirma, dabar užima antrąją poziciją, bet yra netoli, visai netoli yra ir Ukrainos komanda, kuri buvo antroje pozicijoje po 500 metrų, po pusės distancijos 3:25 buvo atsilikimas, šiuo metu 26 metrais atsilieka ši komanda, na, o tempas greičiausias yra būtent Europos čempionių Lenkių, tai yra 4,5 metrai per sekundę šiuo metu.
So a real squeeze on here between the 2 leading crews of Poland and New Zealand, and I think they'll be helping each other out in the race here because they're racing for first and second, but in rowing side by side and pushing each other on, they are moving away from the Ukrainian and Canadian crews. Just coming through with 500 to go, the Polish crew stride on again, opening up clear water now back to the New Zealand crew. They're going to have to keep an eye on the Ukrainians because there's just a little bit of clear water that they could come back into the mix here. Canada just coming through with 500 to go. A little bit of work if they're going to get back into the mix with 500 to go. It's looking a little bit doubtful. We're once again top of the screen. We're seeing that little island of trees that indicates 250 to go is coming up soon. They'll hear the roar from the grandstand here, and it's time to perfection for Poland. They're leading it out. They're taking with them the New Zealand crew in second place. These two looking well clear of Ukraine and Canada.
Yeah, gutsy start from the Kiwis. They paid a little bit for it, but they're continuing to hold on to that critical second position. Poland, the Polish, they're so proficient in the women's quads, and great to see that translate to the junior level.
Jūsų dėmesio progresija šiame jau trečiasis jau dabar vyksta porinių keturiučių moteris. Pirmos 2 vietos patenka į pusfinalį, 1, 6 geriausia laikai iš visų plaukimų. Taip pat į pusfinalį 7 ir blogesni užimtos pozicijos nepatenka iškrenta tiesiog iš varžybų.
Poland stroked by Zuzana Chaya in the 4 seat, in the stroke seat. This combination, as we heard, finished first at the Under-19 European Championships earlier this year. They've been building momentum and confidence and pedigree all season. And, well, it looks like they've perhaps timed it to perfection here at the World Championship at the U19 level. We see that long stroke rate. They're down at 34 strokes per minute. Just to set the context, that's against Ukraine's 41 1 strokes per minute. The Kiwis, though, looking to capture that critical second qualifying position. Ukraine just off of their stern. A job well done to Poland, just completely in sync with one another as we see Canada now come through the line, and a look with just delight from the Polish fans and this Polish combination as well. Looks like that went according to plan. So that's the final heat of the under-19 women's quads, with New Zealand to take second. Well, that concludes the under-19 women's quads. Here's a look at who we can look forward to seeing in the semi-final. Germany, Great Britain, Poland, Czechia, Italy, New Zealand, Romania, Greece, Ukraine, Lithuania, the USA, and the People's Republic of China.
Taip, mes turim progresą, turim naujienas apie tai, kas vyrų porinėse keturvietėse patenka į pusfinalį. Tai yra Vokietija, Britanija, Lenkija, Čekija, Italija, Naujoji Zelandija, Rumunija, Graikija, Ukraina, Lietuva ir JAV, taip pat Kinija. Sveikinam.
Tenemos unas personas en este lugar de Sevilla español. ¿Cómo se sientes ahora, amigos?
Muy bien.
Todo bien, muy bien. Very good, very good.
All right. What was racing? Is it your relative? Is it your friend? Can you tell us?
Is his son?
My son, Daniel Carballo, and so college, Monchu.
Okay. ¿En cuál fue el clase que participado?
-2.
-2, yeah. Pairs. All right. How do you like Lithuania so far? ¿Cómo te gusta Lithuania ahora?
Muy bonito. We're coming from the hot, so we appreciate this nice temperature.
Very good the weather. Very good the weather. It's horrible. Horrible.
Can we make some noise for España? Richie, te doy las palabras ahora. Gracias.
Thank you. And we are back with the heats of the men's quad, which are already through the halfway mark. Give you the standings there as they came through. It's the Swiss crew barely ahead by canvas of Australia in second. Lithuania very much in touch. The 1, 2, and 3 just half a length separating those three crews. Greece overlapping in a fourth place ahead then of USA and Ukraine. That was the standing as they went through the halfway mark. The Swiss crew doing really well here. The European silver medalists from earlier on in the season going with form here. This Australian crew, bit of an unknown for us as well, not having raced, of course, in the Europeans, but they're in second at the moment. The Lithuanians, I'm sure a new combination from the Lithuanian crew are going to be roared home as they come down in towards the finish here. They're in third place at the moment and very much in the mix for the 2 qualifying spots that are going to come in to play when we get down to the last part of the race here. Looking good so far from the crews from Switzerland, Australia, Lithuania, and within striking distance, the Greek.
Čia turime labai įdomų atrankos plaukimą, nes Lietuva yra antrame takelyje ir kol kas atsilieka labai nedaug, po pusės distancijos tik 77 atsilieka nuo šveicarų, o šveicarai tiesiog yra puikus, tai yra Europos vicečempionai, sudėtis visiškai nesikeitė, yra ta pati, kuri Europos čempionate laimėjo sidabro medalį. Lietuvos komanda sudaro būtent čia sportininkai, kurie yra įvairaus amžiaus. Ivarui Liepiai šiuo metu yra 16, 17 Konradui Minkui, taip pat ir Paulius Petkevičius varžosi čia, ir Motiejus Valčiukas, tai yra Mildos Valčiukaitės olimpinės prizininkės brolis, ir jį turime čia. Lietuviai kol kas 3 pozicijoje, atsilieka nuo Australijos komandos, bet gali kauti su jie. Atsilikimas tikrai nėra didelis, šveicarai jau didina tempą ir šiuo metu lenkia lietuvius 22 metrais, bet faktas tas, kad Šveicarijos komanda, kaip ir minėjome, tikrai yra labai galinga. Lietuviams reikia kauti su artimiausiais konkurentais iš Australijos.
Finish line is coming up shortly, and the Swiss crew leading it out. And once again, all eyes are going to be on second, third, and fourth, with just the width of a Sakotis cake, I think, separating out the crews as they come in towards the finish. All eyes, Australia, Lithuania, Greece. Lithuania, let's bring them home.
Absolutely incredible. Yes, Lithuanian fans, on your feet. This is down to that second qualifying position. Looking good for Switzerland. Can Lithuania pull through?
Paulius Motiejus, Konradas, Ivar, jie šiuo metu yra ant trečioje vietoje, australai yra antri pirmi šveicarai, bet lietuvių greitis yra kol kas labai neblogas ir jie turi šansų. Sirkit už juos, kelkit rankas į viršų ir melskimės. Taip, mes turim lietuviai demonstruoja 21 metro atsilikimą nuo lyderių ir beveik nosis eina su australais, bet vis dar antroje vietoje šveicarai, aišku, be šansų kam nors paliktų. Taip, lietuviai yra mums artimesnis, jo tolimesnis takas ir lietuviai užima trečią vietą šiame plaukime. Jie turi šansų, jeigu jie pateks į 6 geriausius laikus.
What an exciting end to the heat number 1 of the U19 men's quadruple sculls. We know it was Switzerland, an absolutely insane battle there for that second qualifying position. We're awaiting the final times, but fantastic effort from Lithuania, from Greece, from Australia, and it is indeed confirmed Lithuania to capture that second direct qualifying position. Fantastic effort, and particularly that final 500-meter stretch for Lithuania. They went from third at the first marker, at halfway, at 1,500 down, to slip into that second place position in the final quarter of the race.
Aš suklaidinau visus, iš tikrųjų lietuviai buvo antri, ačiū Dievui, reiškia jūsų maldos ir ženklai siunčiami mūsų komandai padėjo. Mūsų komanda Paulius, Motiejus, Konradas ir Ivar patenka į pusfinalį, labai sveikinam juos ir sirgsim finale. Jeigu jie ten pateks, tikrai pateks.
Well, we take a look then at heat number 2. That's the start list: Latvia, Belgium, Slovenia, Estonia, and South Africa. Already mid-second quarter. This is a replay of the start. And a clean start for all of these crews, quick off the line. And we'll catch up with them in just a moment as Belgium leads.
Taip, mes turim antrą plaukimą, vyrai porinės keturvietės, čia demonstruojamas greitis jau yra labai solidus, panašus į aštuonviečių, jau ko gero greitesnis negu moterų aštuonviečių. Mes ką čia turim rinktis, sirgti už, ir tai yra pirmas vanduo, tai Latvijai. Latvijų ekipažas, susipažinkit, tai yra vaikinai Hendriks Rasa, Frederiks Rasa, Artur Zirnys ir ant įrio sėdi valties kapitonas Henrijs Kirmans. Jie šiuo metu aš jums pasakysiu, prairklavus 1000 metrų, jie užima trečią vietą, tai pasirikim už broliukus. Estai taip pat irkluoja čia, ketvirtų vandeniu, jiems sekasi kol kas prasčiau, jie yra prieš paskutiniai šiuo metu.
Well, just through the halfway point, Richie, will hand it straight to you.
Looking good so far were the crew that came fourth in the Europeans, Belgium leading it out, and very familiar crew right beside them, the Slovenians. They came fourth and fifth of the Europeans, so well used to racing each other. And there's just about a canvas separating the two, center of your screen there, looking good. A little bit further back then to the Latvian crew, we saw some side footage of them just before the 1,000-meter mark, looking good in third place. But the Estonian crew, they were in the C final in the Europeans. They'll be looking to definitely get in the mix here and try advance into the B final and into the A final as well. So they're really battling it out with the Latvians matching each other with stroke rate, trying to get in the mix. The South African crew further off the pace, you can see, back in fifth place, but looking good so far for Belgium and Slovenia. Fourth and fifth in the Europeans. They're the in-form crews, having made that A final. They lead it out here, and all eyes again going to be on Latvia and Estonia to see how they're going to get on.
Labai rimtas komandas matome šiame atrankos plaukime, yra belgai, taip pat yra ir slovėnai, būtent šios komandos labai netoli apdovanojimų pakilos liko Europos čempionate, belgai atsiliko tik 33% nuo Italijos, kuri laimėjo 3. vietą, šveicarai buvo 2, lenkai nugalėjo, tad belgai ir dabar lyderiauja, tiesa, slovėnai veržėsi į priekį po 1500 metrų, Slovenija lygiai tokia pati komanda užėmė 5. vietą Europos čempionate, niekas nesikeitė, ta pati sudėtis atkeliavo čia į Trakus ir slovėnai veržėsi į 1. poziciją, kalbant apie mūsų kaimynus, Baltijos šalių komandas, Latvijai kol kas yra 3. vietoje, Estai užima 4. poziciją. Latvijos atsilikimas yra 5-12, Estų yra 5-18, tad 2 Baltijos šalių komandos kaunasi būtent dėl tos 3. pozicijos ir atsilikimas yra tik 0,06 sekundės. Latvijai kol kas lyderiauja.
Coming into the finish, there has been a change up at the lead. It's the Slovenians now leading it out, coming in with 2:50 to go. Love the Slovenian blades and their new gear that they have, reflecting the mountains of Slovenia. Maybe they did some altitude training up there. They're leading it out ahead of the crew from Belgium, 1 and 2.
Fantastic effort from Slovenia. We saw a little look there from Miles Tobic at the 500 to go. Slovenia leads.
Slovenija šiuo metu yra priekyje, antrieji belgai, jų takas yra 1. Latvija užima 3. vietą, mūsų broliai šiauriniai, Estai 4, Pietų Afrikos Respublika 5. pozicija ir jiems beveik nėra šansų.
Well, the race continues just behind them. Slovenia, we see, has earned that advantage over the rest of the field. And, well, Belgium with a response for Estonia, a response for Latvia, South Africa just off the pace in lane 5. It will be Slovenia over Belgium, and fantastic effort from those 2 crews. Belgium first to the halfway point, slipping into second. That's when Slovenia really hit the gas. So it is Slovenia, we see just a celebratory moment there, then Belgium to capture that 2nd place position.
Belgija 2. vietoje, 1 buvo slovėnai, Latvijai užima čia oficialūs duomenys, aišku, yra 3, estukai dėja 4. vietoje, bet bent jau jie nugalėjo Pietų Afriką.
And, well, we understand that Ritas is down with some South African fans, so we'll catch up with him down in the grandstand. Three, 2, 1, South Africa. We love that. And we'll turn our attention, though, back to the course. South Africa, well, not in this heat. This is heat number 3 of the under-19 men's quad with Italy, Denmark, Romania, Serbia, and Spain. And we can see Italy up at 39 strokes per minute out in front for a moment now riding with the Spaniards.
Taip, mes turim turim 3. plaukimą, kvalifikacinį, vyrai, porinės 4. 1. vanduo Italija, 2. Danija, 3. vanduo Rumunija, 4. Serbija, 5. Ispanija. O ar žinote jūs, kad anksčiau buvo 4 porinės su vairininku ir tai buvo tik tai moterų klasė? Tai anksčiau buvo ir pavienės 2 su vairininku ir šiuo metu, šiais laikais, liko vairininkas darbą gali ieškotis tik 8 komandose ir tikėkime, kad jis ten liks savo pozicijoje, nes be vairiniko būtų liūdniau.
Well, Italy certainly on a mission. They're first to cross halfway.
One of my bucket list items to do is go and watch an Italian crew race ahead of the river, because I have a feeling over a couple of kilometers they're still going to come down the course at 39-40 strokes per minute. They're leading it out here as we have a familiar sight. Italian crew, high rating, really powerful in the water, and they stride on here. In second place, the Romanian crew. Two new combos, both in the Italian crew since the Europeans and in the Romanian crew, but a lot of experience on both boats. Those two coming through the 1,000-meter mark, a little bit further ahead then of Serbia, Denmark and Spain. The Danish and Spanish crews off the pace, but Serbia certainly within striking distance. But no doubt about the leaders so far. The Italians striding out 30, they've taken it down to 37 strokes per minute. Sensible rate there now, reducing from the 40 that they were at. In full control here in lane 1. And the Romanian crew in second place, high rating as well, 36 strokes per minute. Very much these two dominating the rest of the field then. The chasing pack of Serbia, Denmark and Spain back in third, fourth and fifth.
Turbūt labai tuo nereikėtų stebėtis, kad pirmauja dvi komandos, kurios ir buvo laikomos favoritės šiame atrankos plaukime. Tai yra Italija ir Rumunija. Jos varžėsi Europos čempionato A finale. Italija iškovojo bronzos medalius, rumunai liko paskutiniai A finale, užėmė 6ą poziciją, bet vis tiek tarp 6 geriausių Europoje pateko. Tiesa, pasikeitimų ir vienoje ir kitoje komandoje tikrai yra nemažai. Italijos ekipoje liko vienintelis narys, tai yra jauniausias komandos narys, 16-metis Elija Bresonas. Kalbant apie rumunus, kurie liko paskutiniai A finale Europos čempionate, ten Paulis Alinas Korodesku ir taip pat Sebastianas Konstantinas Lupų liko komandoje. Jie varžosi šiame čempionate Trakuose ir kol kas po 1500 metrų Italija užima pirmą poziciją, rumunai jau atsilieka šiek tiek daugiau ir kiekvienoje toje atkarpoje galima sakyti, kad Italija didina atotrūkį prieš Rumuniją, dabar 4 sekundės ir 300. Na, o visi kiti atsilieka gerokai daugiau, jau beveik 9 sekundėmis, tad Italija ir Rumunija užtikrintai lyderiauja.
So looking good for Italy here as they come in to run into the finish. They're well ahead of the Romanian crew in second place, who in turn have a cushion of comfort coming in the run-in. These two looking good to qualify.
Viva l'Italia! Viva l'Italia! They've led and they continue to lead as they come into the closing stages of the race. They knew what they wanted to do. They've put together a really strong first 1,500 meters and into the closing quarters. It is Italy over Romania.
Tolimiausių nuo jūsų pozicijų takų pirmuoju italai irkluoja ir jie šiuo metu yra lyderiai, gana užtvirtintai nuo jų atsilieka net 16 metrų antrų vietoje esantis rumunai. Ir aš fiksavau kol kas didžiausią greitį, tai buvo 5,58 metrų per sekundę, kas lygu šiek tiek daugiau negu 20 km per valandą.
Well, that's the horn for Italy. Romania kicks it up to 41 strokes per minute. And, well, they're through the line as well. And then back just behind them, it is Serbia. Serbia, 37 strokes per minute to round out. Then over to Denmark and back to Spain. So fantastic job to this Italian combination. We know that they've got loads of pedigree coming out of the under-19 Europeans earlier this season. But they've come together for the under-19 World Rowing Championship and had a fantastic start to their regatta. That's Romania for the second qualifying position. And, well, pure exhaustion from the Serbs, who really went to try to get that second qualifying spot, but finished third overall. Looking forward to getting the standings when all of the times are in. That's a replay then of the earlier round, of the earlier start. Denmark, big finish into the back of the stroke off the line. So a beauty shot of the buoy there and some of the wildlife here in Trakai. And we'll take a look at the replay of the under-19 men's quad. This is heat number 4 with Germany, the People's Republic of China, France, Ireland, and Poland riding for a moment there with the People's Republic of China.
Taip, ketvirtas ir paskutinis kvalifikacinis plaukimas jau startavęs yra ir mes turim, šiuo metu beveik 800 metrų prairklavo, pirmauja Prancūzijos komanda, kuri irkluoja trečių vandeniu, pirmų vandeniu irkluojantis vokiečiai yra antri, penktas vanduo Lenkai trečiojoje pozicijoje, tada ketvirtoje pozicijoje airiai ketvirtas vanduo ir Kinijos liaudies Respublika antras vanduo, kol kas paskutiniai, bet valtis eina daug maž nosis į nosį, taip kad mes galim išvysti ir įdomių atomazgų kažkur ties finišo tiesiąją.
Germany leading. They were second at the 500 mark, but able to get their bow just ahead of France. Florian Scholz in the stroke seat, 16-year-old Oscar Müller in the 3 seat. These two setting a rhythm that's working really nicely for them, just shy of halfway, down at 33 strokes per minute.
Quite unbelievable to see them rating so low, but turning on the power in the water. They're leading it out ahead of the European champions, Poland in second place. New combination from France since the Europeans come together now. They're in third, just ahead of the Irish crew, but very little between third and fourth. The Chinese crew just off the pace, as you can see, top of your screen there, back in fifth position at the moment. This is our last heat of the men's quads with 2 qualifying spots automatically there, and the rest of the crews chasing the clock to see if they're going to get in the mix with the fastest qualifying times to advance on to the semi-finals. The remaining crews going into final C and final D, so plenty more racing to be done by these crews, but out on the water at the moment, no doubt about the leaders. Germany, a very familiar sight that we've seen so far in day 2 of the Under-19 World Championships, leading it out with a low rate and in control here. All eyes then going to be on the crews from Poland, Ireland and France in the mix for that second qualifying spot and the fastest times as well. At the moment, it looks like the Polish crew, mentioned they're the European champions from earlier on in May, so going with form here, and they're the 1 and 2 at the moment, and France and Ireland in lanes 3 and 4 right beside each other, 35 strokes per minute. Both speeds are matching as well, and the Irish just starting to inch ahead of the French crew.
Čia labai įdomus atrankos plaukimas, labai intriguoja, kaip jėgas pasidėliojo Lenkijos komanda, vis dėlto tai yra Europos čempionė, sudėtis visiškai nesikeitė, tokia pati atvyko ir į Trakus ir Lenkai pradėjo prastokai, Lenkai buvo treti po 500 metrų, panašu, kad taupė jėgas ir po to buvo antroje pozicijoje, bet atsilikimas nebuvo didelis prieš lyderius, o lyderiai buvo prancūzai po 500 metrų, po to galiausiai Vokietija išsiveržė į priekį, vokiečiai vis dar pirmauja ir jie lenkia Europos čempionus 3 sekundėmis 17 šimtųjų į kovą dėl kelialapių į kitą etapą. O iš karto 2 valtis patenka, gali įsitraukti žinoma ir Airija, taip pat gali įsitraukti ir Prancūzija. Airija atsilieka 5 sekundėmis 51 šimtąją, bet labai įdomu, ar Lenkai sugebės pavyti vokiečius, nes vėlgi, kalbant apie įrius, šiuo metu Lenkai lenkia Vokietijos komandą ir greitis šiuo metu vokiečių yra šiek tiek greitesnis, tad didžiulė intriga, kuri komanda bus pirmo šioje atrankoje.
Germany in full control, coming down with 2:50 to go, and the Polish crew coming under a bit of pressure now from the fast-finishing Irish crew, who've moved from 4th place now into 3rd, looking to race against the clock here, I think, because they're going to run out of water against this Polish crew. Fast finishes coming from all the crews, but it is Germany leading it out ahead of Poland, the Irish on a charge in 3rd.
Yeah, fantastic, fast and furious indeed. This German combination now down to 35 strokes per minute. So they are getting the job done with power. We can hear the German fans from the tower. Absolutely fantastic. It's Germany and then back to Poland.
Puikiausiai mato toliausių takų pirmoji irkluojantis vokiečiai nepalieka jokių šansų. Jų greitis milžiniškas kaip šiai dienai, 5,56 metro per sekundę ir atsilieka nuo jų Lenkai antroje vietoje, tada airiai.
And Germany first across the line, and it is Poland indeed. The Irish, such a fantastic push from Team Ireland out of lane 4 as the remaining crews come through the line. But it was Germany, it was always meant to be Germany in this race. They were second at that first 500 mark. That's a look at the replay from the start, and then able to move themselves into that first place position with Poland inching into second, Ireland then to take third, and back to France, who lost just a little bit of steam from what we saw in the early goings. It is Germany, and we'll look forward to seeing them in subsequent rounds, with Poland directly qualifying as well. This is a look then at who we can look forward to in the semi-final. Germany, Italy, Slovenia, Switzerland, Romania, Poland, Belgium, Lithuania, Ireland, Australia, Serbia and France. Well, fast and furious coming down the track. We will move our attention to the under-19 women's coxed eights. This is a preliminary race, and we've got Great Britain, Australia, Germany, the USA, Italy, and Romania.
Taip, mes turim pirmą plaukimą ir jis bus ir vienintelis, tai aišku, moteris, aštuonetės įplaukia mūšio laivai pačios didžiausios įgulos. Aštuonvietė visada yra su vairininku, vairininkas dažniausiai sėdi gale, bet yra tokių valčių, kur vairininkas būna ir priekyje, nors čia šiame čempionate aš dar tokių nemačiau. Taip, mes turim pirmas takas JAV, antras vanduo Vokietija, trečias Rumunija, ketvirtas vanduo Didžioji Britanija, Italija penktu ir šeštu Australės. Visų pavardžių aš jums neminėsiu, nes jūs išprotėsit nuo tiek daug žmonių su lietuviškom pavardėm.
Well, early goings in this race, we're still looking for that 500-meter timing mark. So first quarter, and it's looking like Germany will be first to cross in. Great Britain in hot pursuit of Germany. In fact, GB was leading there for just a moment. There is 1 meter at the moment separating them. GB just moving ever so slightly quicker than than Germany. And well, as I say that, they're trading punches truly stroke by stroke. Those are our two leaders up at the top. Preliminary race. So it is mandatory. It gives these athletes a sense, an opportunity rather, to sort of line up against one another, test strategies, test tactics. They will see each other in the final, and making the most of this preliminary race in the early goings. Well, Germany now just over Great Britain. Richie, fantastic first quarter for these two crews in particular, GB and Germany.
Yeah, they're pushing each other on here every stroke that they take, but they're bringing the rest of the crews with them as well, because Australia, Romania, USA and Italy powering on towards the second 500 now. That marker you can see in the distance. All the crews are overlapping, which is what we love to see here. We love to see the close racing. I'm sure the crews are not feeling the same out there. They'll want to get clear water. That's what they want in the run-in towards the finish. We're watching the crew from Italy there. So the Italian crew won in the Europeans earlier on this season. 7 out of the crew, including the Cox and the two-seat, are a new combination that are there. They went through the 500-meter mark back in third or fourth position, but no doubt about the leaders, Germany and Great Britain, literally stroke by stroke, the lead is changing between the two crews coming up on the 1,000-meter mark. I watched the final of the under-19 World Championships when we were in Paris, and Great Britain led for 1 stroke of the race, and it was the very last stroke, the one that counted when they took the win here. And we're seeing a similar scenario between Germany and Great Britain, the lead changing with every stroke that they take. The two crews pushing out here ahead of Australia, Romania, USA and Italy.
Na čia visko dar gali būti būtent šioje atrankoje ir 8 ir 6 komandos, žinoma, kurios gali patekti į kitą etapą. Kalbant apie Europos čempionatą, ten triumfavo Italija. Italija kol kas yra tik 6 pozicijoje, tai paskutinėje vietoje, bet atsilikimas nėra didelis, 3,99, lieka dar pusę distancijos, tikrai viskas yra įmanoma. Rumunija beje užėmė 2 vietą Europos čempionate, ten dalyvavo ir Ispanija, viso labo 3 valtys startavo ir A finale ir galiausiai Italija, Rumunija ir Ispanija išsidėliojo tas pozicijas. Ispanių čia nėra. Trakuose jos nedalyvauja, bet Rumunės visai neblogai varžosi. Kol kas beje Didžioji Britanija yra lyderė, bet atsilikimas Vokietijos yra labai nedidelis, tik 24/100, Australija atsilieka tik 1 ir 61 šimtąją, tad na čia faktas, kad tikrai intriga yra didžiulė ir labai atkaklu viskas ir tikrai žinoma greita, kai tiek yra merginų vienoje valtyje, tarkime Europos čempionato finale 6, 16 ir 10 pakako būtent pirmai pozicijai.
Looking good still for the two leading crews here, and it is GB just starting to inch ahead now of the German crew, opening up a little bit of a lead in the last 200 meters. We're seeing the GB crew still at 36 strokes per minute, but they are the faster boat out on the water, and just on screen you can see now they're edging ahead by the smallest of margins ahead of Germany with that 500-meter marker just coming up there. It's 1/4 of a length, I think, between the crew from Great Britain holding on the lead now ahead of Germany. They're inching into that first qualifying spot. It's a preliminary race. They're inching into the lead here to take the win. Germany going with them, though, very much in the mix, overlapping with Romania and Australia. They're in third and fourth at the moment, ahead of the United States and Italy bringing in fourth and fifth. But great footage here. You can see all the crews overlapping. They're coming in with 2:50 to go, and there's nothing like the sound, the noise that comes from an eights race. And we're seeing GB lead it out ahead of Germany.
Yeah, it feels like a qualifying race, though, doesn't it? Because the excitement is there in these preliminary races. Again, a chance to test tactics and strategies, and these crews will be going all out. That's certainly true for GB.
Kaip jūs puikiai supratote, kadangi yra vienas plaukimas, tai visos 6 valtis patenka į finalą, todėl gali kilti klausimas, kogi čia taip draskytis, tačiau sportininkai yra sportininkai, jie nenori nusileisti. Kita vertus, galbūt finišo tiesiojoje galima pamatyti priešininkų komandos kokį nors slaptą ginklą, kurį priešininkai nesusilaikys ir pademonstruos. Žodžiu, mes turim visai gražų finišą ir tikra kova ir jokių čia sukčiavimų kol kas mes nematom.
Well, Great Britain holding on to that advantage, 36 strokes per minute, about a half a length advantage or so over Germany. Germany making a push back, coxed by Clara Müller, 17-year-old in the coxswain seat, takes the stroke rate up, 38 strokes per minute, 3 meters separating them down to the wire between these two crews and going with them. Well, we see 3 crews now in contention. The United States of America just 2 meters off of our leader. Absolutely incredible, and what a sprint from the USA in the closing stages. Then it is over to Romania, Italy, back to Australia. We'll get these times in just a moment. Great Britain held on to the lead ever so slightly. Thrilling finish. The GB fans are just delighted with that. And it is the United States of America to take that second position in this preliminary race. That means it's back to Germany, who will perhaps consider sprinting a little bit earlier, maybe adjust their race tactic for the next round, which of course is the final. So thrilling preliminary race. It is Great Britain to take first, the United States of America to take second, and that's what my quick math says, like 0.4 of a second ahead of Germany. Then it's back to Italy. What a fight at the end with Italy, Romania, and the Aussies in the mix as well. This is going to be a fantastic final. Can't wait for this one. Well done to the women of the U19 Cox State. We'll take a look at the replay of the start. This is the under-19 men's 8. We have 2 heats here, so back to the progression system. Fast and furious off the start. We saw Great Britain there out of lane 1. They were quick off the line and currently hold the lead. That's a look at the USA out of lane 3. It is GB up at the top of the field, just off the picture. The Kiwis running quickly as well. Romania's with them, then back to Italy and the USA.
Ką mes turim įsitikinimą, kad Britai aštuonetėse nejuokauja ir šiuo metu. Taip, tai yra pirmas plaukimas vyrų aštuonetės, 5 komandos, pirmas vanduo Britanija, šiuo metu pirmauja, atriklavus lygiai pusę distancijos, antras vanduo Rumunija, trečias JAV, ketvirtas Italija ir 5 Naujoji Zelandija. Taip, antroje vietoje mes turim Kivius, iš Naujoji Zelandija ir trečioje vietoje Rumunai.
And the halfway times are in, so I'll head it straight to the course. Great Britain looking strong there through the halfway.
Yeah, not much has changed over the last 500, except for Romania moving from 4th place into 3rd place ahead of the Italians. That's the only change in the last 500 to 1,000 meters. You can see the finish line is in sight in the distance there. They're powering down here. All of the crews, 36 up to 39 strokes per minute. But it's the GB crew here. Cox, Felix, Jemison will be cheering and coordinating them home. And they're leading it out here ahead of the crews from New Zealand in 2nd place and Romania, matching each other on stroke rate and boat speed as well. Very little between them for 2nd and 3rd. It's the Romanians and New Zealand battling there ahead then of Italy back in 4th and the USA back in 5th place. The USA crew we saw in the women's race moved from 5th into 2nd, but that huge sprint finish. But there's a lot of work to do for the USA to get back in the mix here. We're seeing now the GB crew looking in full control here. They're starting to inch away even further, leading it out as they come in with 500 to go.
Kol kas fantastiška kova, labai greitas tempas, lyderiauja Britai, jie pirmi ir po 500 metrų, ir taip pat po 1000 metrų, ir po 1500 metrų savo pranašumą sugeba išlaikyti. Čia dalyvauja beje ir Europos čempionai italai, sudėti šiek tiek keitėsi, bet Italija faktas, kad yra stipri, tačiau kol kas užima tik 4. poziciją. Rumunija taip pat yra čia, rumunai kol kas yra antri, jie Europos čempionate buvo 4, bet atstumai šį buvo labai maži. Nugalėtojai italai per 5:34:75 finišavo, rumunai per 5:36:92. Tada atsilikimas buvo šiek tiek daugiau nei 2 sekundės pirmo ir 4 vietos. Tad faktas, kad ten buvo viskas labai atkaklu, panašiai kaip ir čia jau komandos artėja finišo link.
Finish line is in flight for GB. The women's crew are there just coming in. They're cheering them on as they come in. A dominant display from GB. The Romanians holding on to second place at the moment ahead of New Zealand. They're into the last run, into the finish. Minor places to be sorted out between Romania, New Zealand and the Italians. And here come USA.
Here comes the USA. All eyes, though, on the Kiwis. The Kiwis making a run for Romania's second place position. No one is catching GB, but Romania under threat by the Kiwis.
Šiuo metu Britai pirmauja ir gana gerai atsiplėšia. Artimiausi nuo jų yra rumunai, atsilieka 22 metrais. Taip, pirmos 2 vietos patenka į finalą A, pirmas ir antras geriausi laikai finalas A, trečias ir žemesnės vietos finalą B.
Well, Romania answers the threat from this combination of New Zealand. It is indeed Great Britain first across through, Romania with a good half length or more advantage over New Zealand, and then back to Italy. A job well done to Italy, and over to the USA out of lane 3 with good overlap to Italy, who's overlapped with the Kiwis. So fast and furious racing from the 8s. It always is. Just these boats just cooling down here for a moment. It is Great Britain to take the men's 8 in this first heat. And well, we'll head down to the grandstand where I understand we'll hear from the German women's 8. Well, that good spirit, we'll see how that translates over to the under-19 men's 8s with Germany, Croatia, Austria, and Czechia. That's a replay of the start. Germany closest to the screen out of lane 1, and riding now for a moment with this combination from Czechia. And, well, early goings, just getting times at the 500-meter down. Germany out in the lead, so that good spirit and that fight for stroke by stroke paying off.
Paskutinės lenktynės šiandien ir tai yra antrasis plaukimas vyrai 8-vietės pirmoje vietoje. Atsiprašau, pirmų vandenių startavo Vokietija, antrų Kroatija, trečių Austrija ir 4 vandenių Čekija. Šiuo metu pirmauja, aš jums pasakysiu, taip, 700 metrų yra prairkluota, pirmoje vietoje šiuo metu Vokietija, jiems įkandint Čekija, Kroatai 3 ir tada Austrija.
In the stroke seat for Germany, it's Max Gilman setting the pace at 38 strokes per minute, so keeping it quite high for Germany, but clearly this is their plan, has been their plan all along. It is Germany, and actually, as I say that, under threat from Czechia, so absolutely thrilling and a fantastic push from Czechia now to just challenge for the lead. These two going toe-to-toe. Czechia gets their bow ahead for the first time, approaching that halfway mark, and it is Czechia over Germany.
Great to see this new combination from Czechia since the Europeans, combining crews from the 4, quad, 8 and double, and now they have a lot of experience in A and B finals now in this new setup for the 8, and they just take the lead ahead of the Germans who led it out through 500. They're the 1 and 2, very little between those two crews. Croatia back in 3rd place and Austria back in 4th. All the crews overlapping, much tighter race to what we saw in the previous heat, where we saw the crews from Great Britain and Romania lead it out and get those 2 qualifying spots. So the racing against 2 spots available, 4 crews in the mix here. The crew from Czechia timing it well in the last 500. They just inch ahead of the German crew. They're the 1 and 2. Austria back now ahead of the Croatians.
Tikrai tikra vyšnia ant torto, galima sakyti, yra būtent šis plaukimas mūsų dienos programoje, nes jis yra labai stiprus. 4 komandos, iš tų 4 komandų net 3 Europos čempionate pateko į top 5 ir 2 ekipos sugebėjo laimėti medalius. Kroatija buvo 2, Austrija užėmė 3 vietą. Atsilikimas Austrijos nuo Kroatijos buvo viso labo 19 šimtųjų ir kol kas lyderiauja būtent ne tos komandos, o priekyje buvo Vokietija po 500 metrų, tada galiausiai po 1000 metrų jau Čekija išsiveržė į priekį, bet plaukimas, galima sakyti, yra labai glaustas. Kroatija ir Austrija yra netoli būtent tos komandos, kurios sugebėjo laimėti medalius Europos čempionate, o dabar artėjame prie 1500 metrų. Kol kas tempas didžiausias yra būtent Čekijos komandos, bet Vokietija yra labai arti, jau lygina rezultatą ir galima sakyti, kad čia mūsų laukia labai atkaklus finišas.
So we heard from that quote from the women's 8. They fought for every single stroke, and that's exactly what Germany and Czechia are doing here. The lead is changing as they surge the way down. Whoever's on the push from their stroke is leading it out. It is Czechia, just as you can see, 0.01 of a second ahead of Germany. Such a tight race between these two. They're pushing each other on and starting to move away from Austria and Croatia now in 3rd and 4th. There's 2 spots available automatically. Austria and Croatia will be chasing the clock to try and get the qualifying times to get into the A final. No doubt about the 2 leading crews. The question is, who's going to get across the line first? It's changing with every stroke that they take. The Germans now up at 38. The Czechia crew at 38, matching each other on both speed, matching each other on stroke rate. It's going to come down to who's going to hold on to the pressure that is there and respond to it as they run in towards the finish. Germany and Czechia, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, Czechia fans on your feet. Team Germany as well. It is Czechia currently leading at 40 strokes per minute, but the Germans are going with them. The Germans increase the stroke rate and the pressure. It was Germany. Now it's back to Czechia. Your pick. We're in the closing stages.
Čekai pirmauja šiuo metu, jie jums artimiausių takų irkluoja, absoliučiai nenori pasiduoti vokiečiams, nors tarsi nėra ko ir draskytis, abi valtis akivaizdžiai patenka į finalą, bet čekai, matyt, keršia už 38 metus ir demonstruoja didžiulį greitį, tai yra 5,67 metrai per sekundę, kas yra beveik 21 km per valandą.
Oh, it's Germany with the response to Czechia. Germany now up to 40 strokes per minute, just over Czechia. Czechia takes it up to 40 as well. It is Germany, Czechia, absolutely incredible. Then back to Austria and Croatia in their final few strokes. This is looking to be an absolutely thrilling final, and it is Germany. They went toe-to-toe, stroke by stroke with Czechia, and well, yeah, job well done to Germany just to get on the right side of that finish line with both crews, both Germany and Czechia qualifying for the final. Absolute exhaustion and a hard race, well fought. We get a sense of the Czechia fans here, and yeah, just fantastic. And in 3rd place, Austria, then back to Croatia. So that's a look at who we can look forward to seeing in the final of the U19 Men's 8. Great Britain, Germany, Romania, Czechia, New Zealand, Italy, Austria, Croatia, and the United States of America.
Tai mes turime rezultatus. 8 vyrų finale A rungsis Didžioji Britanija, Vokietija, Rumunija, Čekija, Naujoji Zelandija, Italija. Finale B 3 komandos Austrija, Kroatija ir Jungtinės Amerikos valstijos.
Well, it was a fantastic day of racing here at the Under-19 World Rowing Championships. We were so delighted to have you here with us in person, in the crowd, following along at worldrowing.com, with us on social media. And yeah, we're grateful for it all and a job well done to truly all of these athletes and their supporters. So much fantastic racing. One that jumps out in particular, the Australian men's 4 challenged hard today, crossing just ahead of Turkey in one of the heats in the men's 4, but truly we saw so much fast racing that there's so many finishes that we can talk about. And yeah, well, we look forward to more racing to come. But first, we will just give you a couple of quick announcements, starting with a note about our sustainability-related projects. And we know that while these young crews truly go all out on the course, that there's something else going on behind the scenes, something that's just as important as winning and protecting these waters, and that's restoring the water that they race on. So here's something really cool. Trakai is one of 2 pilot events where World Rowing is testing a brand new project with an environmental agency called Bloom Up. It's called In Balance with Nature, and the idea is quite simple. If we race on the water, we should also take care of it. They're using a tool called Biodiversity Compass to measure how rowing events impact nature and how we can improve things like water, health, and local biodiversity. The organizing committee is fully on board, and they're helping to assess and collect the data as well as co-develop practical solutions and a legacy model for future rowing events. In addition, we can look forward to the Forest of Nations tree planting ceremony. So coming up later today at 1400, so 2 p.m., we've got the launch of something called the Forest of Nations. It's a tree planting ceremony that brings together the rowing community and local leaders to kick off a long-term effort to offset the carbon footprint of this event. So get this. 1 tree can absorb around 1 ton of CO2 over 40 years. To offset this event's carbon foot, we would need 225 trees over the next 40 years, or over 11,000 trees if we wanted to offset immediately within 1 year. And that's why World Rowing President Jean-Christophe Roland, Trakai's Mayor Andreas Satevicius, and the Lithuanian Rowing Federation President Mindaugas Grinkonis are getting hands in the soil later today. It's a small act, but just like rowing, every stroke adds up. And a quick thank you to our officials, our volunteers, our all-star commentary team, and to, of course, the athletes, the parents, everyone here that made this happen today. We're delighted to be back with you tomorrow. We know that racing begins at 10:30 sharp. So a warm thank you and goodbye.
Mes absoliučiai dėkingi visiems, kas atvyko šiandien čia, stebėjo varžybas. Ačiū. Didžiausias turbūt eina orui, nes visą laiką beveik buvo saulutė, ar ne, Giedriau? Taip, dar keletas informacijos, kuri yra gana svarbi. Paklausykite įdėmiai. Tvarumo projektas In Balance with Nature, Trakuose vykstantis pasaulio jaunių iki 12 metų irklavimo čempionatas tapo vienu iš 2 pasaulinių. Visiems, kas atsakingas už visą šitą gražų renginį, žiūrovams, darbuotojams, čempionato, oficialams. Mes labai dėkojame savanoriams, tai jau tie jauni, faini berniukai ir mergaitės, kurie irgi yra irkluotojai ir